and welcome everybody to another wonderful episode. We're back after taking a week off. Here we have the infamous Stan Dahlin with us today. How you doing, Stan?
Who me? I don't recall. Hello, everybody. How we're doing today?
Oh my goodness, what a day! Like what a week, I should say. We've had so much to talk about, and I have brought Stan on here to hold him accountable for all of his lies.
I didn't do it. You can't say it. You can't prove it. I didn't do it.
his lies and his slander, and we're gonna talk a bit about that today. We're gonna talk obviously about all of the not so new allegations surrounding Stan's memory lapse.
Oh, jeez.
That apparently everyone else knows better than you, Stan. Everyone else knows your state of mind and your input on this better than you do. And
for people who have never been there, probably weren't even born yet.
And I want to pick your brain on what a fat nobody had to say about conventions too. And
2 ton away.
2 ton away. So this is what we have in store for Canuckleheads today. We'll try to limit the giggling fits as much as possible because this is a professional podcast. We take these situations seriously. We don't sit here and crack dick jokes and make fun of sexual assault and stuff like that. That's not what we do here on this more than once a month podcast. But hey, maybe I could do that, Stan. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I could just hold a podcast once a month and then ask for donations because of the production cost just being so high. It's
and God forbid that you're already monetized and they're not.
Right? Heaven forbid, because they don't have monetization on WordPress. How dare they? Oh my god. Like seriously. They had sound booths made, like sound closets, I think. I don't know what the heck. I don't know how you could fit that much mass into a tiny ass closet, but apparently they had custom built sound booths. And I'm guessing the legal fees are getting up there, right? Because you remember a couple of years ago, I guess it's about a year and a half ago at this point, we had a certain soy boy on this show, and he claimed that he had no problem dishing out legal funds, right? He had no problem. He would hire 10 more lawyers because he could afford them. Money's not an issue. But now apparently, I don't know what costs more. I don't know what costs more. Hiring a legal firm to shit up the court enough that the judge just wants you out of it, or building a sound closet large enough to accommodate Monica's luxurious mane. I'll just put it that way. I don't know. I guess we'll find out eventually.
I think the sound booth is a lot cheaper than lawyers.
That's a lot. Lumber is very expensive right now, Stan. I don't know about that.
Before all the pandemic, Monica and Jamie both had to get sound booths because they weren't invited back into the office to do their recordings, and so they had to do remote. So the question is, did they pay for it or did Funny pay for it?
Good question, isn't it? And why are they asking for donations then? Like if they had to, I'm assuming that Funimation had at least comped some of it for the equipment and stuff, because that would be Funimation's equipment at the end of the day. I would assume that they have to
Probably.
soundproof it themselves to get to the quality of a, whatever the hell it
No,
is that
some
we
some
heard.
people are saying the quality has dipped down. So,
Hey, I
eh,
I only listened to like a few minutes of it. I listened up to the point where they said we're not introducing any new information. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to listen then.
that's a what? That was like a good 5 minutes of cackling and giggling before you got to that point.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And Monica was the one that delivered that news flash.
After this entire time, after beating their drum after beating their drum and being like, yes, we're gonna, blow this off as soon as the court case is over. We're going to just blow it all out and here, like, because they're whales, so they have the blowholes. That's the joke. But they're gonna but they're going to like blow it out all in the open here, and then they get on and they have an opportunity to on their own platform, and they want they want listeners, obviously. So what do? Oh, we're not going to comment on it. It's an ongoing court case. What?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like these people, I don't get it. I honestly, I don't understand this. Surely, like, I don't know. I think my microphone quality is better than theirs. I just put that out there. I mean, unless you can like hear the herpes slapping on their lips from their microphone. Maybe that's what they have going. I don't know. But Stan, we are here to talk about you today.
Oh,
And your lies. How dare you?
my lies are my truth. My truth is my lies.
How fucking dare you, Stan? How dare you lie by not saying that Monica was a liar under oath? How dare you? Oh my God. So like, this has been going on for God knows how long. And there's a bunch of allegedly smart people on Twitter that just keep hammering this away because this is the biggest sticking point against Monica's story, right?
It seems to be, given how much attention it's getting
It's
by these folks. So
it's
they constantly have to say something, and I'm like, really?
yeah.
You know, why did I put an affidavit? Well, I don't know. Maybe because she dragged me into this by saying that I'm her witness. So it would be logical for me to comment on that portion of the lawsuit. You know, I didn't cover anything else in the lawsuit in my affidavit because it had, that my involvement is only what she got me involved in. You know, though, if anybody asked me, I would have plenty to say, plenty of other things to say.
Absolutely.
So, and that's one thing that they don't want me to do is
No,
to say more.
they don't want you to talk. They don't want you to talk at all. Dean Domino 25, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Wanted to send some support your way. Cress and hi, Stan.
Hello.
Also, love Nick but hate listening when he plays the podcast. It's a torture fit for Gitmo. Well, I was
it was more torture when Nick did it because he would stop and comment and then start it up again, and you could say it was almost like waterboarding.
Oh my God.
And you could say I listened to it yet again when Nick did it.
I couldn't even I had to skip. I had to keep skipping through it until the points where they were talking because I just heard these fucking hyenas going off the whole time.
I love how Jamie had her chance to do some creative writing, because I don't think she's allowed to do any more script writing for Funimation,
Oh my God,
as far as I know.
that's hilarious. Well,
So when she, yeah,
it's so bizarre. So Stan, I don't want to have to play the damn podcast. I don't want to have to do this a third time for people.
oh, you're not
You've
doing it. You're not going to, are you?
I'm not going to.
Oh,
No.
thank God. But if you were, I would say get it from somewhere else other than their site, so you don't give them any clicks.
No, I'm definitely not getting it from them. That's 100%. I'm not getting it from them. But we have someone who has taken a bullet. We have someone who's taken a bullet, and considering that you have lied before, Stan, apparently.
Oh yeah, apparently. Yeah.
You can lie again and give us a recap of what happened.
So I guess I have to ask Ken Jennings, to evaluate me as, am I lying? Am I a pathological liar, a sociopathic liar?
Yeah, we need a breakdown from Ken. Is Stan psychopath? Is he doing this compulsively? So what exactly? Because I've been seeing bits and pieces, and I really don't want to go through all of it myself. But I've been seeing bits and pieces of people talking about this stuff, and like they had apparently admitted to having conspiring and coordinating tweets. Like this is pretty not good things to do when you're sitting on an appeal right now.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising, because that was near the very end of the podcast,
Oh
and
boy.
when they brought that little gem up, it's just like when you interviewed Ron.
Yeah.
And Ron just volunteered stuff left and right. They did the exact same thing.
And that's why she didn't want to come on the show. I mean,
I think
ultimately,
she could have done a better job.
she could have. She could have done a better job.
But I think Jamie is the one who's actually running this podcast.
Oh, really?
So, and they got way too comfortable, and then they blurted that one thing out. But then I also mentioned to Nick on his stream. I don't know. I doubt he even saw it, but. Say what, Ken? Say what?
Stan's exhibiting a case of transvestic fetishism disorder.
Interesting. Anyway, that's what it, that just totally blew my train of thought. What was I saying before?
You were lying about everything. That's what you were saying.
Lying about there was something in particular. Now it just went right out my head. Thanks, Ken.
It was something about Jamie Markey and them being comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. I think they got too comfortable.
Yeah, I sent a text out to Nick, and basically something else that they admitted, both of them actually, when they did their introductions, they said voice actor, scriptwriter, director, ADR director, and whatnot. And I'm like, gee, I think the only thing in the court documents that you provided, and I think Jamie provided, maybe Jamie provided, was their contract with Funimation as a voice actor. So, which does not cover the other jobs, indeed. So that kind of would make you sound like an employee instead of a subcontractor.
Certainly does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the timestamp for that little conversation? You said it was near the end, right?
Yeah, it's near the end.
Try and find it here.
Stan blowing things means my diagnosis is right. You just like the reaction I gave you. So
I'm trying to like.
I'm gonna ignore Ken. I'm going to ignore Ken from this point forward.
Oh my god. I'm gonna ignore him. Let's. Does anyone have a link for like an? I know you guys don't want to hear it. Does anyone have a link for an archive? I don't want to give them another click here.
Yeah.
You have that. You post that because I don't want to put words in their gaping voids of a mouth. But I do want to like play that where they're talking about, because I haven't heard it myself. I've only seen a bunch of people talk about it. Where it's just like, oh,
yeah, I wish they would timestamp it.
Oh, I know.
And then go to that special thread on that special site. The site whose name we will not mention.
Yeah, if I mention that site, then they're just gonna like come into my house and do stuff. How is it?
I see you, Ken.
Oh God, I don't want to listen to this, but where the hell is it?
What's happening, Trent Michaels? How you doing, buddy?
How you doing, Trent Michaels? I saw you said you won. What did you win, Trent Michaels? I'm curious.
He won the banned off of Twitter prize.
Amazing. Okay, people brace yourselves. There's gonna be the sound of a dying cow on the stream in just a minute.
Oh jeez.
In touch for anyway, I could spend a whole hour just on that.
Oh, I'm sure we will at some point.
Was it before or after this point, Stan?
Yeah, so that's part of it too. We'll be in touch. We will be in touch. Both of those. We have both of those.
You can't hear it,
In Touch podcast. That's ours too. Yeah, that's where the title comes from, and I'll probably put it on the website at some point.
Shut up.
All's podcast, and
you guys spreading misinformation.
Yeah.
Care less.
Oh my God.
Right, like how is see, and that's the thing too, is like we're just telling our story. If our story is a punishment, then that person needs to reflect on their decisions.
Yeah.
The only person
but tidbit out there too. More proof Monica Rial doesn't want to move or
our friends. And that us talking about something that happened to us. Those to you, I guess.
Oh, First Amendment. You're very
something we're going to harass you. So the harassment has died. But that's it. I haven't. I mean, what you're
risk. You become an insurance risk. Y'all lied on them so much is wrong. Also obsessed.
This is like ridiculous.
They barely talk about him.
Because there are boundaries, healthy boundaries we have set for ourselves. It's like it's so stupid and
beginning.
And I'll say, like, one of the things that threw me.
I'm trying to find where the hell they're talking about.
Like the first day I posted it, there was lots and lots of support. But after that, there's a lot of you're lying,
Right,
and it blew my mind that my story, which I said was mild in comparison to most people's.
Had enough.
I don't know. I don't know if it's because they
were making tons of money.
So more detail does not.
Oh, I did. I don't know how much
you did. It didn't last as long before the slap was filed.
So was it before or after that part, Stan?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
You've memory hold it. Oh my God. Yeah, they won't call anybody out by name.
Yeah, I posted out. I said, "Pray for me." I listened to the whole thing,
Jesus
and
Christ.
then I'm like purged it out of my mind.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then got a refresh when Nick started covering it.
God damn.
The first two times.
Let's see if we can.
He didn't do it all in one time.
The anti-slap. So we'll get into all those meetings, everything. But once the same thing with Good Intentions, I was like, if we post it, then we have to. So that's what. Yeah, we committed to it, and then we had to do it. So.
Oh, that might be it actually. Hold up. Listening to it at like 1.8 times speed is actually tolerable.
In fact, all of these different things. If you don't fill out that paperwork,
I'm all right with that.
I'm totally fine with that, please. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Did you hear how
I feel so much better.
I do too.
Kind of in chronological order for us, what our experience was.
Oh, I think this is it.
So when we get back, you can follow, on our next podcast.
I think this might be
we'll
it
go
here.
through kind of up until the lawsuit was filed is probably a good time about what was happening and what our experience was and what we were thinking and everything. So, and all the harassment. But I will say, we are going to do a little section, a little thing every time.
Holy fuck! Do you have to explain yourself 50,000 times?
Questions, right? So, when we posted our announcement, which was on Christmas Day, we partly posted it, to announce that we were going to do it, but also to make us do it. Yeah. We're like, if we say we'll do it, we'll do it. I did the same thing with Ghoul Intentions. I was like, if we post it, then we have to. So that's what, we committed to it, and then we had to do it.
Thank you, Dean Domino, for the $1.99 feel like soldiers hearing Nazgul screams.
So we directed comments and questions to be sent to our email.
testimonyisevidence@gmail.com.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And that's just them talking. Okay. I'll have to find it later. 'Cause I literally, it's like that situation where the Canadian reactor was having like that nuclear meltdown and they had to send people down to like take care of it, but they could only do like 30 seconds at a time. Gav, with the €2, I'm paying you to stop this. Gonna take more than that if we're gonna start charging for that. No. Now you're giving me an incentive to play it all the time. No. It's probably in there somewhere. They probably have to spend 45 years explaining what they're gonna talk about before they talk about it. Jesus Christ. What that is so fucking asinine. Like, you spend an hour and a half explaining what you're going to talk about and then don't talk about anything. Congratulations, I guess. So I'm going to take people's word for it. If you guys want to like bleed your ears out, then go ahead and listen to the podcast. Stan says it's in the latter half of the podcast. Check Discord DMs. Oh boy. What is this?
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
If you oh yeah, Ken, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Come on in. I will drop you the link. So Ken wants to come on and psychoanalyze Stan. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, by the way. Well, we'll get Ken in here because he wants to comment about
Ken is
not a penis this
touch
time. I don't know where it is, but apparently there's somewhere where Drexel sends me these fucking links all the time. 10 minutes, no problem. We'll cover you, Ken. We still have some grilling of Stan to do, so not to worry. But Drexel sent me a link about some article saying that it's now illegal to send unsolicited dick pictures. So, I mean, rip the dream, I suppose. Rip the dream. But since we're bringing people in, I don't know if
it's going to stop those politicians.
I don't know if Harima wants to jump in here, our supreme Canucklehead, but he's been in the lobby, so I can pull Harima in here if he wants to chat too.
More the merrier.
So, Harima, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome. Yeah, flexing that supreme Canucklehead benefit.
He doesn't have that mic.
He's got the Ken potato mic going on right now. What it is. That's all right. That's all right. You can just chill while we we got this going.
He was unprepared.
He was unprepared. Oh, he's blown himself up now. He is committed whatever the hell that is. I think he's fixing his devices. He's fixing his devices. Your daily reminder that Monica and Jamie hate you if you're an anime fan. Monica and Jamie hate everyone that does not do something for them. That's really what it comes down to. As long as you're benefiting them in some way, yeah, you're good. There we go. I think Herman's back now.
Hello?
Hello.
Can anyone hear me?
There he is.
Okay, yeah, apparently the USB that connected to my mic was broken. Good thing we checked this out, so because I got a podcast to do tonight and I can't go mute.
Oh shit. There you go.
It was a good thing we brought you in.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good thing. See the benefits of being a Supreme Canucklehead? They save you.
I see it.
In every...
It's totally worth the money.
It's totally worth the money. They save you in every aspect of your life.
Trent Miles, you pointed it out eloquently on your video when you went over their splash page and they basically said, "We won, they lost." Who's they, Jamie and Monica? Who are you talking about?
Who is they?
Are you talking about Vic? Because last time I remember, Vic doesn't call himself a they. So obviously they're talking about everybody else that supports Vic. So yeah, you're right. They hate everybody who doesn't support them.
Oh, exactly.
And that's a shame.
Exactly. They demonstrated that. Everyone who doesn't side with them are alt-right, like Nazis, basically. Like it's the whole like Frost argument, right? It's like, oh well, they're just misogynists. They're just Nazis.
She didn't even have an argument to begin with.
No, she didn't. She backed out of it. Man, I'm so salty. I'm not salty that she chose to go to like the big YouTubers. I mean, I kind of am. But the fact that she chose to go to the big YouTubers and then bitched up.
No.
Didn't go
it
to
was
anybody.
It was clearly a career move.
100%.
And probably the agent was like, "Yeah, that's not going to happen."
Yeah, no, it was never going to happen.
She just backed out.
He was never going to interview with anybody. That was very clear.
Shit, I should have fucking
clear.
brought my podcast, but like, hey, let's talk.
Hey, I brought it up. Like, I sent her a message, a nice invite to the show. Didn't get a response back because I'm not quartering big, either in YouTube or real life.
But that's the best part, though. Surely she could have humbled herself to join a conversation and have an interview with you.
Yeah.
Such a significantly smaller channel. I'm sure she could have done that. No, it has to be for the biggest channels, of course.
Yeah.
No, she couldn't handle the bigger channels. She would have done better with the smaller channels.
Exactly.
They wouldn't have
roast her out
live.
Well, to be fair, she was part of G4, so
To be fair,
go ahead and join a decaying rust of a corpse. I guess that was the perfect place to be.
Like, yikes! It's like, I mean, I can guarantee her that nobody in my audience gave her death threats. If that's what her big issue was.
Oh, there.
I like how Nick got wind of what the death threat that Monica received.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was basically a crank call.
Yeah, that one.
That was the most hilarious bit ever. And that's how disingenuous she really is, because she used that to try and proclaim that we were all that kind of people.
Yeah.
She probably didn't even know it was a crank call.
No, she probably thought it was real.
Thought it was real. Yeah. Because hell, Nick got the same call. He basically said, "Yeah, I know exactly." He said when it was described, he said, "That sounded vaguely familiar. It sounds like something I've gotten in the past."
That's so fucking funny. Oh my god.
But the other stuff, the ones that came in the mail and stuff like that, it says being investigated by the FBI, and I'm like, okay, yeah. And then threatening people with Homeland Security, yeah, like that's gonna actually happen.
That's the most hilarious shit ever.
That's the biggest Karen move. Like, I'm gonna go to the manager. Okay, go for it. Go to the manager of life. I mean, they don't go to church, so.
If she does that a number of times, then she would be put in the spotlight. And
well, I mean, speaking of career moves, right? This entire situation was done to further her own career, which, I mean, I'm sure that's worked out miraculously. They start off their podcast by claiming that Jamie and Monica have collectively voiced more anime characters than anybody in the universe.
I feel so vindicated
because
thank you for bringing that up, because early on in that podcast, they boasted about their careers, talking about how, oh, hey, is it true that you're the second most famous voice actor in the industry? Why, yes, I am. And nobody believed me when I said these two are egomaniacs.
Yes.
And this was like, I feel vindicated because they can't even go 30 seconds without jerking themselves off.
Seriously, they can't. Seriously.
I love it. I just love it. It's amazing to me.
Well, it's like I would love to look at that claim and see exactly how many people they've voiced, and see if that holds water, because I don't think it does. I think there's plenty of other voice actors. They might think maybe at Funimation right now currently, because Vic voiced a lot of fucking characters, like a lot of stuff that he doesn't just headline. I mean, people know him for Broly, people know him for Edward, but there's a lot of voices that I didn't even fucking know that he was part of. I mean, the same thing that with Quentin Flynn. Like, I didn't know he voiced a bunch of characters, but that's the point, though, right? It's like there's so many characters in anime that get voiced by just random people. Yeah, Japanese voice actors, like things like that too.
The biggest voice in the world, is the person who does the voice of Pikachu.
Yes.
And almost no one outside of Japan knows who she is.
Exactly.
And hell, there are people who still don't know who Mel Blanc is.
Yeah.
Even though he passed away a long time ago, but you know, he was the legendary American voice actor. He was the one who basically was among the pioneers of voice acting, and there are people who don't know who he is.
Exactly.
Or who he was.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah, like there's so many actors out there, and there's so many characters out there. They can make this claim, which I don't even think is verifiable, because they'd have to list every one of their credits, which I don't even think they know. Like the voice of like the Looney Tunes characters. Like, hell, there's fucking Phil Hartman, rest his soul, voiced like fucking 30 or 40 different characters on The Simpsons. Like,
yep.
Dude, that's still crazy. When I first learned of his tragedy, Jesus Christ, and it still shakes me up.
Yeah. But like, don't come out here and say, oh, we voiced the most amount of characters ever in the world ever. Get out of here.
Try Billy West.
Dean Domino 25, thank you so much for the $1.99. Discounting Japan, Steve Blum still beats them. I'm sure collectively too. He beats them. We have Ken now. Ken's gonna come on in. Ken, welcome.
To meet you.
My name is Ken Jennings, and I'm here to talk about Stan Dahlin's transvestite fetishism disorder. This is an intervention.
Oh my god, this is an intervention.
Well, to be fair, being in a Gundam suit all the time kinda has people asking questions.
Look, I'm not judging here. There's no kink shaming allowed in this chat.
Hey, if you wear a Gundam suit, then you can't see the boner. That's all I gotta say.
Yes, you can. It's about how skin tight that Gundam suit is.
You probably won't be able to see it, but you'll probably hear it.
It stretches the fabric. Not that I have any experience with that. Just a thought.
Oh my god. Having the most VA credits is like being the most popular guy in prison. Oh my god.
Man, I've been to prison like 30 times, and over the 30 times, I've only been gang raped like 28.
Only?
Only. Voluntarily.
Oh my God. Speaking of prisons, just a very brief aside before we start bashing Stan over the head here. I have to say, if I did not realize, I did not know, first of all, that that this song was made by a Canadian. Second of all, I only heard it thanks to Nick Recada's Discord. And third of all, it's being used against the Freedom Convoy. Apparently, people are deep infiltrating the Freedom Convoy's like Discords and other chats and stuff like that, and just blasting them with the 18 Naked Cowboys song.
Okay.
I support this.
I don't know why that became a thing, and it's like it's a meme at this point. But I just speaking of prisons, but yes, let's continue beating Stan up. I think that was a great
beating him up or beating him off. I got to make sure we have the right preposition.
Why not both? Why not both?
Oh.
Stan's like, I can't do one of those, but we could probably get one done in about 3 minutes.
Oh my God. So
I see something out of Clockwork Orange here.
It sounds like it.
If that's what you want to dress up as, I'm okay with it.
So Ken, I'm assuming you've listened to the podcast.
As much as Nick has played, because I don't listen. There's a short list of things I'm not into, and listening to that on the same duration of time is one of my hard no's.
It's an instant flaccid response.
Listen, it's an inversion. It's not even flaccid. That bitch goes right back inside you. Like if you need, like, for any of those out there who are trans and need good tucking advice, just do that. That's like the perfect way to tuck. You don't even have to do tape or anything. Like that's my tip of the day, because then there is no tip and it's all hidden.
It's the no tape. It's
the no tip. This is why people pay good money for my advice. This is what I get paid for. I think.
Well, what are your thoughts on this entire thing, Ken?
I think that they what's the right way to put this? I think that it looks really bad for these guys, for these two ladies here. And, for something that, if it's me, and so if I'm thinking about this from multiple points of view, if, you have people who are claiming to be victims of sexual harassment or sexual assault or whatever it may be, whatever your definition of the day is, and your goal is to, support your, idea here, your truth here. It doesn't help when you, I think, approach it like the way it is. Like, if I'm listening to this and I'm trying to, if I'm giving the best advice I can here, to them, one, it doesn't look really good from a humorous perspective, right? To a certain degree, there can be humor, but the entire parts of it I've listened to so far, as much as Nick has listened to, which is probably, I think, a good 20, 30 minutes, I think. And just out the gate, the way they've addressed the timeline, you're not building, because think about it. What did I just do coming on here? I built a relationship with the people who are watching.
Yeah.
Why I want to listen to this guy, or he's an asshole, or why is he calling Stan gay? Like, they want to know the answer to these questions, and I want to know the last one. And, they want to listen more. Nothing in that first 30 minutes or whatever makes me want to listen more and wants me to hear that story. Just like if you've ever done creative writing or ever done any kind of writing, or even academic writing, you have to hook people quickly.
Absolutely.
There's no hook. There's nothing to make me want to listen. It all sounds like, and I hate to sound like an asshole, they sound like pretentious bitches trying to come on from on high and go, well, you're wrong, and this is why you're wrong, and we're just going to sit here and laugh about it in our special way. And the only people telling the joke are on the inside, because they're not laying out any, like, they assume that everyone knows the facts. You can't do that.
No.
Like, you have to lay out at least some base information. You have to put out at least enough. Go, so this is what happened. You know, if I was doing it, if I was making the same podcast, in the first 15 minutes, I'd start out with, my name's X. This is what happened to me by so-and-so. I'm going to retell this story in a way that's no longer restricted by lawyers or by other parts of the internet or by other YouTubers or anything like that. I will tell it to you from start to finish with no deposition questions interfering with the way it should be told, in the way that makes me feel like I'm getting the real truth out there. And doing it that way, and then putting your heart into it, and then if you have dark humor come up, then it comes out, because that's how people deal with shit. But the way it started to the way I stopped listening, it didn't hit. There's nothing there. There's no emotional investment. There's no and maybe if assuming all facts are true, unless they've completely dealt with it, it's no longer something that impacts them. They no longer get upset by it. They no longer get bothered by it. Then maybe, but it doesn't convince the people listening that you're telling the truth. All it comes off as is you're being a bitch, and that's not like meant to be offensive. And I don't mean to be offensive. I'm just saying that's the impression people will give you. Whether that's sexist or not is another discussion, but it comes off as being a bitch, and it doesn't help your case. That's the way I see it.
I completely agree with that. Honestly, like when it first opened up, and they just like they introduce themselves like people should know them, and then they just start cackling like hyenas for like 5 minutes. It's like, what the hell am I going to listen to this for? And then immediately come out and say, oh, we're not going to give any new information. I'm going to tell my story. Like, not even the truth. She's like, I'm going to tell my truth. I'm going to tell my story. You've already done that.
It's not
once again contradicting
wrong.
their advertisement on the podcast, which everybody who would have tuned in would have been expecting. But once again, they're quick to break their word on it because it's consistent with their behavior.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way, I feel especially vindicated now that the Professional has stated that he felt that there was a pretentious vibe coming from them.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I was vindicated. You were vindicated because I told the truth about Stan Dahlin.
Oh. Oh.
Sorry, Stan. I'm not trying to pick on you today.
Well, let's talk a bit about that, because I want to pick on Stan today. I've made this entire podcast to pick on Stan, and we haven't been doing that, and I'm disappointed.
Fuck yeah, I joined for the right reason.
Well, we can't be hypocrites now. We gotta deliver the goods.
Exactly. So no, I got into a
hit me with your best shot.
a brief yet vehement disagreement with some very allegedly intelligent people on Twitter. I know, unbelievable, and have intelligent discussion on social media. The fact that people were calling Stan a liar because he refused in his affidavit to state that Monica was lying. Now, my understanding of law is limited because I have not gone to school and got a rubber stamp and met a judge that says yes, you're allowed to do law now, and then got my fairy wings and my magic wand. I haven't done that yet, but so I can only talk about this in a limited capacity. But my understanding of it here is when you're swearing to something, right? Like when you're swearing an affidavit, or you're swearing like you're like hand of God, you know exactly what you're talking about. You can only talk about what you know, right? You can only talk about your state of mind. You can only talk about what you understand. You can't claim that somebody else was lying because you don't know what they were thinking or what they knew. Am I wrong about that?
That would be to my understanding.
You're correct. I can't talk about anybody else. I mean, anybody else's state of mind because I'm not in their head.
Unless Stan was lying the whole time, and he is Monica.
I think we can agree. I think we can at least make the assumption here that Stan hopes that he wasn't on her mind at the time.
Or in her mind.
Yes.
Twit longer incoming.
Maybe she was confused. Maybe it wasn't Vic. Maybe it was me.
Maybe it was you, Stan. 20 years can change a lot of things. Oh my God.
Well, I don't know how she could mistaken Vic from me or me for Vic, or, you know, I'm a hunky Hawaiian versus, you know, an Italian from Pittsburgh.
Well, apparently she can mistake a lot of things for other situations. But that was what got me. Is everyone's been like going after Stan for lying on his affidavit. Like, well, he didn't recall any of it. Well, no, he's. How do you say someone's lying without saying they're lying? Right? Because like Monica's making a
come
claim.
Out and just say it.
Exactly.
You know?
Monica's making a claim that Stan saw something, and Stan's saying, well, if that happened, I would have remembered it, and I don't remember it. So then that is left up to a fact finder to determine if Monica was telling the truth or if she was a non-truther. That's what it comes down to. But for some reason, the biggest sticking point is that Stan didn't call Monica a liar. It's, of course, because Stan is not Monica, unless he's been lying the whole time, and he is Monica in a fat suit.
I mean, I'm into that. I'll give it a whirl.
Oh my God.
Well, to be fair, Stan, you had the opportunity to play the hero. People would have adored you for days to come, and now you are the ire of their hatred.
No, I would get hate from either side. One for not saying anything, and the other side would say would jump all over me for the exact same reason. You didn't say anything. Why are you backing that person?
Exactly. But like, what reason would you have to lie about it? You literally could have said nothing.
I mean, I could theorize some, but I'm probably way off base.
Let's hear it, Ken.
Like,
oh boy,
I don't know if you were in a relationship or not at the time, Stan, but if you were clapping them cheeks and you didn't want to get like
now,
like you could have lied to
just because I showed you some photos.
I
think you were about to go a little bit further.
Listen, I remember those photos from the last time we were on stream together. Those were good photos. Well, I think those were after the stream, but those are good photos. And even if you were
at one time,
I'm not judging you.
She was a attractive young lady that ended up expanding like the sun. But I'm sorry.
Is this the heat death of the earth now or something? I don't remember.
Anyway,
it's the new arc of the story.
But no. When I was younger and single, I had the hots for a different voice actor, and it was not Monica. But then she turned out to be full of drama, endless drama, and I said, nope, I can't handle that kind of.
Aren't you glad right now that you took the advice of a wise person that once said, "Don't stick your dick in crazy"?
I think I learned that long before Drex brought it up, but yeah.
No, that was long. I heard that long before Drex ever was preaching it.
Yeah,
I heard that back when I was a kid.
Well, my dad didn't mention that, and my mother didn't mention that either. So I somehow or another I figured that one out on my own.
No, my parents didn't mention anything except the one time my mom offered to buy me condoms. Outside of that, I didn't have any training. I heard all that shit on the internet. So.
Oh my God.
But I think there's potential situations, but they're so far out there that they make no sense. Like you have to like really stretch to like get there, and I don't think there's ways you could do it without poking holes in that kind of idea. And it would be really easy to poke holes in the idea that you lied, and so then it becomes a worthless idea to even talk about. So it like I was saying earlier, but outside of the fetishism thing, I don't see any actual points for you to lie. I don't see any benefit for you to lie. You weren't involved in it. You weren't part of it. You weren't, you were brought in from the outside. You didn't want to be part of it. You got brought in.
Well, I didn't even know about it until
yeah,
after she did her, actually 2 days before her deposition. So
yeah, so it looks, I think the people who put that on you are not wanting to, what's the right way to phrase this? They're not wanting to own up to the fact, because it comes back to the Ron interviews, the Toya interviews, and how he handled things. He was very much, if you paid attention, if you go back and watch those, I've done it a couple times on occasion for certain things, and if you watch how Ron behaves when certain things get brought up, anything that gets brought up that challenges his ideas or his understanding of the things, even if, they're not even necessarily related to his belief of the incidents that potentially happened, even just core belief systems in general, he gets very defensive, or he just cannot comprehend the idea that he's wrong. And that's the same thing as by Stan bringing up something that's very much counter to these accusations. That's the same kind of thing. And as I said to Ron, I think the last one we did, I think you have delusions legitimately because there's nothing that will change. Like I could cross off enough diagnostic criteria to say Ron could potentially have delusions. Again, disclaimer goes here. But that's the same thing as people get bought into it and they don't want to let go because who wants, and I've had disagreements with people in my own life when I've talked to them about having these discussions about the Vic stuff. And they said, I don't like that, you're talking about someone who may have been potentially assaulted. And I'm like, I don't like being this person either. I don't want to be that person that's saying, no, it didn't happen. Because there's many ways that it could have happened. But there's enough information there that, for me, I would feel comfortable saying it. I still doesn't mean I'm completely okay with it. Doesn't mean that maybe I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll take the L. But, I only come out on things like that I feel comfortable on. Just like last week I did the Ethan Ralph shit. I feel really comfortable on my shit. I've come out about this stuff before because I'm really comfortable about it. I came out about the Sophie stuff because I felt really comfortable about it. I wouldn't be coming out on shit like this and talking about it if I wasn't solid in my understanding of it. And so that's kind of my thought process on it. Mm-hmm. I don't like being the person to tell someone, no, this didn't happen. But when there's a lot of evidence out there, you can't just assume everything is true. Even in my profession, someone comes to me and says I was raped. I go, okay, let's take care of this now. Trust but verify. Okay, we'll go, it's not my position to question someone who's a client. I take them, that's what you're telling me is the truth. If they get in legal trouble over lying, that's their own problem. They'll deal with it in another session or whatever, or more, because I'm sure they'll have to fucking do more. Mm-hmm. But, when it's not that type of relationship, of course I can question stuff. I have the right to question stuff as anyone else does. So with my understanding of my education and stuff, I see things that are suspect. One of the things that stuck out to me most was the deposition, the way Monica dealt with the recollection of her assault when she was a child, and then immediately afterwards the way she reacted to the other thing, to her recollection of the incident with Vic. They were so 180. They weren't even close. It wasn't like, because one was legitimate. I would feel comfortable saying pretty certainly that probably happened to Monica, and I'm sorry it did. The other one, not even close. I can't say it was there's no way you can really push me over the hill with the information I have now. So,
I agree with that. I agree with that whole entire situation too, because I don't have the technical training. I don't have pieces of paper, but I do have a bullshit detector hardwired. I do have a bullshit detector hardwired in, and it's one of those things that you can tell almost immediately, right? Like when you listen to literally anything that Jamie and Monica do together, they sound exactly the same. Like when we heard them in that panty and stocking outtake thing, it sounded exactly the same as their In Touch podcast. It sounded like they were just the two of them just goofing off. And they're talking about a serious topic that they want people to take seriously, and they're just goofing off. Like, as much as that could be a coping mechanism for, you know, whatever else, it didn't feel like that in the first 5 or whatever minutes of the podcast I was listening to. They're just like, oh, yeah, they're just like, oh, we're gonna like take it easy. We're gonna be laid back. We're gonna see where this goes. Blah 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 blah. Like, obviously they had it plotted out. Obviously they had it planned out because they waited a fucking month to release it. Like, let's talk about that for a minute. I can sit here on stream for like 2 to 3 hours every Saturday, unscripted. By the way, I don't script any of these things. We have a general overview of what we talk about, then we go completely off the rails.
What is this sheet of paper that I have that obviously says the script?
No. You too? I thought it was just me. Why are you sending me this shit, Crumb?
We go off the rails all the time.
Don't talk about Stan's homosexual. Oh, God damn it, I did that. Oh, that's the part I'm not supposed to read. God damn it.
Let me address something on the chat.
Go for
it. Hey,
Gav.
Depending on what comes up in the next podcast or podcasts, who knows how many is going to come out, how many more podcasts will come out. You know, I'm just biding my time, waiting for the right moment to bring those suckers out on the world.
Oh, I can't wait for you to whip it out for everyone to see.
Ken, I don't think you saw the other ones that I had.
I saw several.
You saw several?
Stan is just got to hang out with his wang out, and everybody will be shocked.
Yeah.
Did you just assume my wang status?
Wang Chung. Anyway.
That too.
Oh my God.
Gab's enjoying this apparently in chat.
Gab is very happy about that.
I keep see. Is this?
It's so, again, we go off the rails on this show all the time, and there's I don't have to wait a fucking month to release the episode. I don't have to run it through lawyers. I'm assuming they ran it through their lawyers because that's probably what took so long. You definitely don't need to like sit and listen, like, especially an hour and a half podcast like that literally said nothing. You didn't know I was streaming Shinobu.
Well, you know, Monica said made some comments in there about I don't know anything about secret agreements, you know, verbal agreements that are secret, and I'm like, what?
What the fuck is that about?
What? If the convention announces you and it's a verbal agreement, guess what? It ain't a secret anymore.
So these wonderful, super big brain people. Wait, you think I'm Yellow Flash or Stan? I don't think I sound like Yellow Flash. I hope I don't.
I don't know. Ken is currently Rainbow Flash here.
Rainbow Flash.
No, now I'm that. I love that one. That's one of my favorite fucking avatars. So it's my generated AI photo.
Oh my God.
Drexel's in the house.
That's Tim, probably.
MGTOW podcast in the house.
This is why Crumb needs to get a locals, so Crumb can send out a locals notification to everybody. Like they get them instantly.
Get on locals. Get the fuck out of here.
Get on locals. Jeez, Patreon's pulling people off of her shit. I saw what happened to another creator earlier. He got pulled off because he had shit posted off platform that contradicted the vaccine narrative, and so he went down real quickly.
Well, if you do hot button topics,
thing, hey?
I'm sure Patreon will harpoon you harder than.
Yeah, Patreon would do the exact same thing.
Yeah,
I'm
sure they would.
Wait a minute, it's not on your damn platform. You weren't covering this platform, so why the hell are you? doesn't make any difference.
I mean, I understand people's
to protect our reputation since you also potentially represent us.
I know
or
that,
some other legal bullshit.
Like I know that Patreon is at the low tier of people's like ratio at this point, but Patreon has been I have had harpies go after my Spotify. I've had harpies go after my my stores and things like that to varying degrees of success. They haven't got Patreon to do anything. So
Agrolith is on board too. Yeah, I got Ken's notification. You forgot you were streaming.
Oh my god!
You could just do a locals like the grown-ups do.
Oh my god!
Also, I have an idea that might make the podcast listening more bearable. Is if I could download the podcast, I could run it through a filter and then just change their voices to be like masculine, and then it's the same thing. And so it's actually bearable to hear, or at least reduce the shrillness.
Here we go.
Or auto-tune it, or something to make it much more fun to listen to.
Here we go.
And then we can listen to it. So it doesn't change the things they're saying. It just changes a little bit of it to make it more fun.
That would be pretty funny.
That would be fun to do.
That'd be pretty funny.
That would take like 30 minutes to do, maybe, tops.
That'd be good.
I'm going to have to do that.
Goddamn. Wait, a military vehicle smashed through an RCMP barricade in BC 2 hours ago. Well, that'll be fun. It's going to be really fun to watch all of these people get shot, I'm sure. With fun bullets. I'm certain they're going to be fun bullets.
You mean the real ones or the ones that are rubber?
No,
we'll fuck around and find out, I suppose. We'll fuck around and find out.
Do Canadians even have real bullets? I don't know how it is up north.
Well, according to one particular lawyer, they do. They even had to one point illegal bullets. So that's a bit interesting.
Wow.
Let me help my friends out here by pointing you to two things: thegatalog.com and two, AGcast on YouTube, who is a 3D printing channel that it makes very awesome, realistic functioning things. Don't shame me for this. Take your freedom back, Canadians. There's your easy way to do it.
But no, this situation in Canada, guys, I'm calling it right now. They're gonna the government has been okay. First of all, let me just preface this by saying something, folks out there, everybody listening. If the government is allowing you to do something, you should probably raise an eyebrow.
That's not freedom.
This is the thing. Governments don't like when the public does anything at all, right? They shut it down right fucking away. When they allow things to go on, that's when you should be concerned, because there's another layer to this going on. The Canadian government is allowing this stuff to happen because I don't want to say I guarantee it, but I almost guarantee they're going to declare this as a terrorist action and they're going to take action against them accordingly. I think they're pushing it to martial law because they want to crack down on more freedoms. And people...
I have a different take.
Go for it, Ken.
So, if you notice some of the actions, there's certain actions I don't think they can take because I think they know the fallout from it would probably be deadly to them.
Absolutely.
And I legit mean deadly. People will not put up with it.
Yeah.
They try to shut down and tow all the vehicles. All of a sudden, people will fight back. And I'm not even joking. So what do? They go after the GoFundMe. They go after the Give, Send, Go. Because that's something they can do like pussy bitches. And suppress people's right to fucking protest. See, this is why
this is what they're doing, Ken. I can tell you right now. They're stripping away public support for the convoy. The only people supporting the convoy are people outside of Canada, and the government is framing this that it's an outside of Canada funded insurrection. And so the only path this is going down is for them to declare the Freedom Convoy a terrorist organization. And they're going to take military action against them. I'm calling it right fucking now. Like, this has been telegraphed from the fucking start when, like, every layer of government refused to do anything about it. And everyone was trying to blame Justin Trudeau. Newsflash, Justin Trudeau doesn't have authority on provincial matters. Cities are in provinces, by the way. Provinces have authority over that. So the premiers of the provinces are the ones that can actually get stuff done, and who are refusing to do anything about it because they want to make it the prime minister's problem, which is exasperating the entire issue. And it's how do I get this to you without giving it to everybody? Okay, I give them the link, and you can come on in. So like this is the issue. I've been seeing it happen the entire time. Like, and just for the record, I didn't vote for Liberals. I didn't vote for Justin Trudeau. After he got in and broke his promise about election reform, I fucking lost all respect for him and the Liberals. So I voted for the Green Party, and my candidate actually got in, and he's been doing some fucking heavy lifting in Parliament. But that's besides the point. My point is, I don't support Justin Trudeau. I don't support the bullshit that's been going on. But I also don't blame him for the stuff either, because that's just stupid. Like, he's not responsible for going in and telling Ontario or Alberta or BC or Manitoba what to do. He can't. He's not allowed to. And all of the premiers,
to a certain extent.
Well, to a certain extent, he can suggest things, but he has no avenue to enforce it unless there's like a countrywide state of emergency.
I'll agree, but if he's being a pussy about it, if he went out and said, I support the freedom for people to choose whether or not they get a vaccine, and that's the official policy of the Canadian government, then that would put pressure on the provinces. But he won't do it because people will be like, oh, my God.
No, he can't do it. He can't do it because that's not the party. Position. That's not the party's view on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because didn't he go the complete opposite route?
No, I'm not entirely sure. Like, from what I understand, he was going on and saying, like, you know, everyone needs to work together, blah 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 blah, all that shit. But he's always been on the line of, you know, this is something like, we've given the provinces the tools to do this. We've given the provinces the tools to do this. Blah 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 blah. We've given them everything they need to do this. And the provinces are like, wow, we're being told this, and like, the provinces have the ultimate authority in this situation. Like, at the end of the day, like, Kenny and Alberta can just be like, yeah, we don't have any mandates anymore. Fuck you, Trudeau. But they won't do it. The hardest locked down provinces in Canada the entire time have been conservative ran provinces. Alberta and Ontario have been the fucking hardest lockdown for the longest time. And it's not even a hard lockdown. It's like these like mutant lockdowns that you keep in your attic and feed fish heads. It's like they don't lock everything down. They're like, oh, we're only gonna lock down non-essential businesses. But we're gonna keep grocery stores open. We're gonna keep convenience stores open. We're gonna keep massage parlors open and gyms open and everything except like small businesses. Small businesses, you're not essential. Everything else, big box, is essential.
You find how funny that was that happened that way? I'm just saying, that's such a weird coincidence. Like, the people who maybe donated the most to their campaigns probably had something to do with them staying open.
Exactly.
I don't know where that came from. It's just so weird to me.
Crazy, isn't it?
These little red pills you gave me taste amazing, by the way.
Like, it's been so fucking telegraphed, but as Canadians, we're so fucking stupid that we're just like, yep, this is fine.
Hey, hold on. You can't take stupid away from us Americans like that. That's not fair. We own the right to be fucking morons. That is our goddamn born right.
Listen, I was in a Twitter argument with someone earlier about the right to be retarded, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not even joking. I said, they were talking about, you know, I support, I'm not for mandates, but I think people who don't want a vaccine are stupid. And I'm like, yeah, but it's their right to be stupid. It's also their right to say no.
Stupid.
It's their right to be stupid. It's their right to protest the government peacefully. And I see other people saying,
that's the key point.
The convoys are terrorists. It's not peaceful. I'm like, motherfuckers just sitting in their trucks honking horns.
Yeah, honking. That's the honking of the horns and being disruptive. That's not peaceful.
Please cite me
anymore.
the Geneva Convention that shows me that this is terrorism. Please cite me any fucking statute or any fucking international charter that shows some motherfucking chubby ass truckers in their trucks or honking their horns is a fucking terrorist act. And you want to know what the sad thing is? Is after this, I bet you a country passes a goddamn law.
They will. They already have.
They're going to write something that says, well, my hearing hurts from the horns, so no more horns in the trucks.
Ken, it's already happening.
Think of it, though, in the next 20 years or the next 30 years, when they're telling their kids in the next generation how traumatized they were from the honking of the horns.
It's already happening.
And all the cats that shit the bed.
Hello, producer Tim. Welcome.
I'm coming in hot, man. All right.
Hot or hard? I can't tell.
Both.
Fair enough.
I can verify the second one. Thanks for sending me.
Don't worry. I have a lot planned for Ken as his dungeon master tomorrow.
Oh boy.
We're doing a D&D campaign.
I ain't asking questions.
Dungeons and Domination, I understand.
That's what also, the kids
first of all, pleasure. Thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, welcome.
Pleasure to be on here. I thought I could tell you a little bit about what's going on. I have a lot of contacts inside the convoy.
Yeah, I've wanted to hear your opinion because I know that you're like the
hardcore Alberta separatist.
Well, you're also
really?
like tapped into politics and stuff more than I am. So.
Yes, very deeply. I'm tapped in so deep, Ken's jealous.
I know.
So deep, put his ass to sleep.
Bullshit. It's coming out of his mouth. That's how fucking deep they are.
Hey, Mr. Dahlin, thank you for joining us. He's got to be just a hand over his face.
Oh, no, I've been calling Stan gay, and I gave him transvestic fetishism disorder diagnosis earlier.
It's okay. The convoy conversation has occupied the stream now, so
kind of like it occupies Ottawa,
exactly.
Wellington Street.
Exactly.
Hashtag too soon.
Okay, so going west to east. So 2 p.m. local time in BC, the RCMP had set up a blockade to prevent vehicles from getting to the Pacific Highway border south of Surrey. A military vehicle accompanied by several commercial trucks smashed that barricade, may or may not have rammed a police cruiser out of the way in the process. Oh. And now they have the open highway to go down. In doing so, they actually were able to encircle a group of RCMP officers.
Oh, shit.
Nobody cares about the RCMP. Let's be honest.
Well...
I mean, horses, they're all on the horses anyway.
They only care about the horses. They don't care about the officers.
Well, they care about the horses because if you check out their online videos that are on Reddit websites, if you go to rcmp.xxx, you'll find out why they care about those horses so much.
I don't even want to know how you know that.
God damn it, Ken.
Ask me later.
You're ruining my flow.
All right.
Go ahead.
Now, you said yourself earlier, they're waiting for a significant escalation
yes.
to justify the crackdown.
Absolutely.
Well, now that you have a bunch of police officers surrounded by, quote, a hostile mob.
Yep.
Is that not where you would throw the matchstick?
I think they're waiting for it to happen across the country.
Of course, it would be BC first. They're radical when it comes to protesting.
The thing is, we've already seen it. We've already seen it from federal level government. They don't fucking care about BC. They don't care about Alberta. They focus on Quebec and Ontario.
Okay, so in Alberta, there's the Coots border crossing, which is the only feasible truck route from the U.S. to Canada through Alberta. There are 2 other major border crossings, but the highways to them are not very good for heavy trucks. Anyways, so Coots is basically your only way into Calgary. Mm-hmm. And Edmonton. The RCMP had set up a field and said, hey, could you move all your trucks over here? And they're like, go fuck yourselves. So
the most nice Canadian thing to do. Hey, can you move your blockade over here?
I'm gonna need you to go fuck yourself, eh? Sorry, I had to do that.
Well, anyways, so we told them to take a piss. Another protest sprang up, I think, 2 nights ago, south of Winnipeg, blocking the major crossing, Emerson, Manitoba, down to, I think that's North Dakota. I think that's the direct highway to Fargo from Winnipeg. So,
okay.
in that case, though, Winnipeg is literally the worst place on earth for winter weather.
Oh, yes.
So I think the cops are just going to lay back and let the protesters freeze themselves out.
More than likely, I would assume, because they're putting all the resources into Ottawa and the Freedom Bridge right now, right?
Yeah, so moving over into Ontario, there are 4 hot spots. Of course, Ottawa is the big one.
Yeah.
There is the Ambassador Bridge, which connects Detroit to Windsor along North America's busiest highway, which is
that's
Highway
one
401.
I'm thinking of, the Ambassador Bridge, yeah.
Yeah. That's the one that's in the news all of a sudden because that holds up, I think it's $139 million worth of trade per day.
Yeah. And that's literally, it's not just fucking Ontario, like that's fucking Michigan too.
Is it ever?
That's how come it's terrorist, because you're blocking free trade. That's terrorism. That's not protesting. Freedom. That's not protesting according to Twitter.
There was another protest at Niagara-on-the-Lake, which, I mean, if you don't know your Ontario geography...
That's a bizarre place to do it, but...
Yes. Well, then they went and joined the Windsor protest.
Weird.
So now you have... So what the cops did is they formed a line at Ambassador Bridge at a major intersection in Windsor.
Yeah.
And so they got everyone off the bridge. The cars are left there. I assume they're going to try and tow them tonight. However, another protest then came in behind the police. So,
oh my God.
There's nowhere, and now they're blocking up the streets of Windsor with their vehicles. So
this sounds so fucking based. I don't know how Canada pulls off this.
Like, well, this is the thing. I got into a bit of a heated discussion with somebody about this on Discord. I think the faux pas for the Freedom Brigade was going to Ottawa first. I think what they should have done was gone to the borders first, gone to Niagara Falls, gone to Windsor, block that off first, and then when the government steps in and tries to bully them, then move to Ottawa. I think it was a bit of a misplay to go to Ottawa first. I think like the argument was, we have to pressure everybody. I agree. However, you want public opinion on this matter, and you want to make it about the trucking issue about forcing them to have vaccines to cross the border and blah 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 blah. Then go to the borders and make your case there, and then escalate it from there. Don't go to Ottawa that has literally no say in what the provinces do.
Well, okay, so about that, Ottawa has, so our national health director, Dr. Theresa Tam, right?
Yeah,
she
idiot.
gives the marching orders to the premier's health authorities. So it is her recommendations that inform how most of the provinces have done things through this pandemic, right? When she said we recommend masks, then the provinces started implementing mask mandates. So while you're correct in that Ottawa has no legislative control over the mandates, they absolutely have the temperature, the how do I put it?
We're not talking about Theresa Tam though. It's everyone's talking about Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, because Theresa Tam is a bureaucrat, a civil servant. We can't vote her out.
Yes.
So the pressure is on Justin Trudeau, and the pressure was also on the other opposition leaders too. What's his name? Blanchette and Jagmeet Singh, and formerly Aaron O'Toole.
Yeah.
By the way, Aaron O'Toole, it is absolutely 100% confirmed. He was the first head to roll from the truckers.
Oh yeah, 100%.
100% the truckers were the direct cause of him getting ousted by the caucus.
1,000% it was, and he shouldn't have been.
Pierre Poilievre is now stepped in, and I've always nicknamed him Harper's attack dog.
He's made some big missteps, unfortunately.
He is a fiery politician, and he is adored by conservatives, PPC, separatists across the country.
No, I know who he is. Like I've heard a lot about him in the past few days.
But for your audience's benefit.
Yeah, for the audience's benefit, yeah.
So not everyone here is Canadian.
Yeah, so he's a populist.
It's true.
He would remind a lot of people of Rob Ford. If you remember the crack-smoking mayor from Toronto.
Oh, man, if we could trade Rob for Doug, like, please.
But that's the thing is, I would bet my left testicle that Rob Ford would go to the protest. Not necessarily join them, but he'd go there.
Oh, he would. And like this is what I'm saying. Like Doug has like been such a fucking idiot in handling this.
Well, he wants to play both sides, right? Because it's all his supporters.
He does. He does. Like, and he's been forced, like, twisting his arm to go in front of a camera and denounce this stuff. But like, he should be in the he should go to the protest and be talking with the organizers and like figuring out what the hell's going on here instead of ignoring it. Like, it's his fucking problem right now.
Now, as far as the Give, Send, Go is concerned, they had not moved any money to any bank account yet. So what hit the news this morning was that Toronto Dominion Bank, which is one of our big 5 banks.
Yes.
They had seized the $1 million that GoFundMe had initially transferred over to the organizers.
Yes.
So Give, Send, Go hasn't actually sent cash into the pockets yet.
Which is contrary to what they claimed.
Well, and I don't know how you're going to go about doing this. You cannot, because it was an Ontario court.
Yes. It was the Governor General.
Actually. Yeah. But what is stopping Give, Send, Go from sending the money to someone in Alberta and then they just drive over with a bunch of cash?
Yeah.
In fact, that's what we've been doing. So my sources on the ground say that we just started. They hit the ATMs in Ottawa, withdraw. They get an e-transfer into their bank account from a donor. They withdraw it in cash and then start handing it out to the truckers.
Well, from my understanding, what the Governor General dropped was that any money that is being given, like, the banks have to like freeze or reject or something like that. It's going to get to a point where the banks just refuse these transfers from Give, Send, Go. It'll be like the MasterCard situation, right? Where they just won't process the transactions anymore.
Yeah. Now, I don't know enough about how this kind of, in-depth details of how international finance and commerce works.
Yeah.
I can't really comment on that, but what I can say is that Give, Send, Go has a ton of options on the table. They can just PayPal someone, right?
This is the problem, though, that's being brought up. Because there's, I don't remember which level of court it was coming from, but it made it so that any operations that take money and give money to like Canadian people are not allowed to like delete where the money came from. Like, they have to keep all records of where the money came from, and it has to be traceable. So,
which is great.
It's great.
Until...
However, this is setting up the Jenga blocks right now for a situation where government is going to be regulating like outside things like PayPal and Give, Send, Go and GoFundMe and things that are not traditionally banking. Canada's really, really fucking tough on banking. Let me tell you that. It's like being in the banking in Canada for a few years. It's like they are super fucking duper strict about what can and cannot be considered considered a bank, etc. And all that stuff. It's been very lax on where money comes from because everyone likes money. But I think that's going to change because of this.
I can do you one better. I think cash is going to be illegal very soon.
I mean, that might very well be a case too.
Now, we do not have any equivalent of the U.S. Patriot Act here in Canada.
Surprising.
So we do have terror financing laws, but they don't have the same teeth as Patriot Act does.
Which, again, you see why the government's letting this happen, because this is going to give them justification in the public eye to move forward with this stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Now, Alberta tried doing something on its own. But however, unlike the United States, Canada is a federation of provinces.
Yes.
So we do not control our own criminal code in each province at the provincial level.
Yes.
We control schools and hospitals at the provincial level, but not criminal, commerce, trade. Like a crime in Quebec is a crime in British Columbia.
Yes.
And it's the same crime. So in that regards, Alberta tried bringing in legislation to trace the financing of oil sands protesters and where they get their money from.
Mm-hmm.
but they cannot change criminal legislation. So the only thing they have are fines. They've got some other legislative things too, but mostly it's just fines and a civil cease and desist order.
Yeah. But you know what they do with fines? Fines are traceable. Fines can go back to people, and they can have a record of people that they can keep on a watch list now legally.
No. Fines are not recorded in CPIC.
Really?
Provincial fines are not recorded in CPIC.
Oh.
I know because I I have been cited for illegally carrying a firearm. But that was it was in a provincial park, so I was given a provincial citation, which did not impact my ability to cross the U.S. border, did not impact my ability to renew my firearms license.
It's not what I mean. It's not like something that's going to impact you that way. It's something that's going to be a flag on file for people for things that. If you say something in a Facebook group, for example, this happened in Ontario, by the way, I'm citing.
Yes.
If you say something in a Facebook group that is questionable, the OPP will come and knock at your door.
Now, I was watching Viva Fry did an interview with Dave Anber, who's the lawyer representing a lot of the truckers in Ottawa.
Yeah.
And he said, and I will preface this is not legal advice. Please talk to your lawyer. But you are under no obligation to talk to the police unless you are under arrest.
Exactly.
And even then, you have no obligation to talk to the police, but you do have to follow their orders if you are under arrest.
Yes.
So when they knock on your door, when they knock on your door and they say, we would like to talk to you, you can politely say, do you have a warrant? Am I under arrest? Am I being detained? Right? The meme.
Exactly.
And say, I'm sorry, but I don't believe I can talk to you right now, and just ask them to leave. They have to announce they have a warrant in order to keep you at the door.
Yeah.
Right?
And
otherwise, you can
shout at the top of your lungs, get out, Gestapo! Get out!
If you get frisked in Ottawa, unless you are under arrest, you may leave.
Yeah.
You do not have to identify yourself. You don't have to give them ID. It's different for a traffic stop because there is no right to drive.
Right.
But if you just are walking on a sidewalk, and you're not violating any order, like if there was a, you know, when they declare riots and they say you'll be arrested if you don't leave.
Yeah.
That's the exception. But if you're just walking on Bank Street downtown Ottawa, which is not currently closed to traffic, and an officer stops you and says, "Can I look through your backpack?" you can decline.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that's how you're going to fight back. Remember, the police use the principle of deterrence.
Yeah.
The idea that they have a gun, therefore you're going to listen to them.
No, in the act of them like removing the gun from the holster, like even unclasping the whatever the hell it is from the thing, it requires them to fill out so much fucking paperwork to justify doing that.
Oh yeah.
Like, never mind pulling the fucking trigger. But
there is a lawyer. I'm actually familiar with a lawyer in your local area who has successfully sued the police, Waterloo Regional Police, for that exact thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it does cause emotional trauma.
It does.
Multiple courts in Canada have recognized that the act of simply brandishing, as I don't think that's the legal term, but the everyman understanding of the term brandishing is enough to cause emotional harm.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, imagine having a gun pulled on you. That's pretty traumatizing for most people.
Oh, I can imagine.
I would know, considering that I do live in one of the most dangerous parts of the country. So that works.
There you go.
In any case, back to the convoys.
Yeah.
So their pressure is on Justin Trudeau because he sets the temperature for the rest of the country. Now, the border crossings are done to up the temperature at the provincial legislature. So
which I think should have been done right from the start. Right from the start.
Now, I know from my sources on the ground that the police officers in Ottawa are from London, Ontario.
Yeah.
Which means that they had to recall them to deal with Ambassador Bridge. That's why they have not been successful so far. They're just understaffed.
Yeah.
Which means now, this morning, Ottawa police said, we tried to move in last night and we just got completely surrounded and overwhelmed. We had to withdraw.
And that'll only happen for so long. Right.
Well, they keep having to chase this moving target, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, there was London, like all the backup London officers were in Ottawa. Now they have to go back to Windsor.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever driven from Ottawa to Windsor, but it's not a short drive.
That's a fucking long drive.
Like, and, you know, they load them up on, like, city buses, right? And just give her down the highway.
Well, and I was seeing that city buses started arriving at the Ambassador Bridge not too long ago.
Which means they're not in Ottawa.
Yeah.
And Toronto can't send, like, usually the way this has always worked is you would send Toronto police because a city of 3.5 million people have more than enough officers to deal with any other part of the country.
Oh, absolutely.
The problem is they have their own protest at Queen's Park.
Yeah.
So that was the entire strategy from the start. Draw them so far away from everywhere else up to Ottawa, then hit the borders, force them to leave. Now there's this, they do not have enough officers to cover every border checkpoint. And so they've got their fingers crossed, hoping that something doesn't happen in Buffalo.
No, I think the temperature, I think you got it a little bit upside down. I think the temperature from federal is that they want something to happen so they can justify clamping down. I think this is as strategic on the government side of things as it is on the trucker side of things. It's like I understand there's people that are ex-CSIS and ex-military and stuff like that. CSIS is the Canadian FBI for those who don't know. All that stuff. Like these are top level people that are organizing this, that are using the truckers to as this and directing the truckers. I don't think this is going to go as well as people are hoping for the Freedom Convoy, because everything that I've seen so far from the government is telling me that this is going exactly how they want it to, for whatever fucking reason. And that's, to me, that's scary.
They have one X factor that hasn't been explored yet. So one of the reasons I wanted to come on the show is because I've actually been to one of these protests.
Yeah.
They're so different from BLM protests. They're opposites of each other.
Oh yeah, because they're organized.
Those are peaceful protests. This isn't.
Yeah. Because we.
That's right, Tim.
Well, and a few of my friends who live down at the border now and in Ottawa, the organizers have made this concerted effort to identify people who are in there baiting for escalation, and they will literally just like put them in a full Nelson chokehold and drag them out of the protest.
That's good.
Give them to the cops and say, take them out of here.
Well, yeah, because if violence does happen, that plays into the government's hand.
Yes.
It sounds like you have glowy detectors out there.
Oh, do we ever? Do we ever? And let me tell you that we are very good at finding them. Because the problem is a Canadian glowy learned from the FBI, and it just doesn't work here.
Yeah, they don't do that well at it. Even the FBI sucks at being glowies.
I gotta give Ricada this file sometime, but there was a entrapment case out of Vancouver. A couple who was convinced by a glowy to leave a bomb at the British Columbia legislature in Victoria. And what they did is they completed a transaction for a fake bomb. But then the couple claimed entrapment because they pulled out the text messages, and it's literally, "Oh, you guys hate the government? You should do something about it. Here, I've got a guy. I know a guy. He can set you up." And you can see them, and they're just like, "Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to hurt anyone." And it's like, that's the most Canadian statement that exists on the planet.
Of course.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to hurt anyone.
Good Lord.
Rape aside, oh yeah, no, for sure. That's also
oh, for Canadian. Sure.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But anyways, so we're very good at kind of spotting these people because they learned from the FBI, and when you're dealing with Branch Davidians or stuff or cults, right? It doesn't take much where you can be like, you should do something about it. And you're like, exactly. Yeah, I should totally fucking do something about it. Fuck the government.
Yeah.
That doesn't work up here. So we do
pretty
good at picking them out.
Let's go kidnap Trudeau.
Let's not. Let's not do that.
In Minecraft.
Think about the messages we'll send. As I radiate green colors.
Yeah. Ken's an undercover. He's the one.
He's the one.
Spotted,
exposed.
We only knew about it because of all of his jokes about Stan.
Oh, I thought it was the 3D printed gun stuff, but never mind.
Oh my god.
But anyways, and one of the and you can tell that they're soft selling on a firearms confiscation program too.
Yes,
because
they are.
Really,
Ottawa Police has cited several times the reason we're not going in is because we think the protesters have guns in the trucks.
I knew it. I fucking called that last week. I called it last week.
One more time, Tim?
The reason Ottawa Police is not moving with force on the Ottawa protest
They're gonna find
because they believe there are guns inside the trucks.
Yep.
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
I mean, no. What do you mean, no shit, Sherlock? There is not a single firearm present.
There's
at that
not.
site.
There's not. I fucking said this last week.
There's probably one.
I said this
Yeah,
last
and it's
week.
glowy.
I said this last week that the government was going to, somebody in the government or somebody in the fucking whatever, they're going to plant a fucking trailer full of firearms.
Oh, they already did that with a pallet of bricks. They put the baked bricks in. Did you see that?
Oh, Christ, seriously? That shit happened in Dallas and all those other places
But
too.
unlike BLM, none of us have touched them. In fact, we guard the pallets of bricks.
That's
I say we like I'm there. I'm not, but
it's literally just like it's fucking stepping up to try and declare them as terrorists, and so they can just go full martial law and just do whatever and pass whatever they want. That's what's fucking going on right now.
Question in the comments asked, what gave the glowy away with the Confederate flag? So the guy with the Confederate flag and the swastika is literally just skinhead.
Just an idiot.
Yeah, just an idiot. We know who that person is. We're not going to dox him because we don't believe in that. But we gave him that treatment. Now, allegedly, the swastika was there because it was supposed to be. He had penciled on the flag, this is Trudeau or whatever. But you couldn't see it in the camera in the photograph because it was just like light penciling. Also, you could see the creases on the flag. It was brand new delivered.
Yeah, you gotta throw that shit in the dryer on steam for like 20 minutes. That's it, and they'll come out.
Yeah.
Don't be giving me.
God damn it.
So he also wore wore a face mask, unlike every other protester who was there. So when I said that we gave people the full Nelson treatment and dragged them out, that was what I was referring to.
Well, the thing is,
we got rid of him pretty quickly.
That's like the dumbest fucking, like the easiest way to give away your position. If the whole point is to argue no more of these bullshit mandates and you put it on yourself, it's like, what is wrong with you?
They covered up
because they didn't want to be obvious giveaway.
If you give 4chan 30 minutes and a face picture, they'll figure out who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
They are smart. I don't know how they do it. I wish there was a way we could concentrate the autism from 4chan.
Yeah, it's called Nick Rekida's server.
That too. Well, that's a different concentration of it. That's the furries and weeaboos and shit are a concentrated version of that one. We need
Ken, who do you think you're talking to?
The Desu Lord.
Listen, I know exactly who I'm talking to. We need the concentrated intelligence finding shit because, like, you could replace like the entire NSA with like half of 4chan.
True.
And
honestly,
it would be the best form of the NSA ever because it'd be shit posting and actually doing real work for once.
Isn't it funny?
Best day of work ever.
It would be. It'd be the greatest meme. Also,
yes,
they'd take themselves too seriously and just become literally the NSA.
We would have literal world peace in about a week.
No.
Everything.
The ego trip would like cause a new NSA to just form around 4chan. Like they would become the NSA.
And then four squared chan would then take over as the new internet. So we just start the cycle all over again.
Former NSA agents who now were on 4 square
chan.
Oh
dear God, that would be fucking hilarious.
Anyways, oh my God. Crumb, did you notice how the Ukraine-Russia news really ramped up the moment U.S. truckers started heading to D.C.?
I was just about to bring that up, actually. Very funny how these things are coinciding. How all of a sudden Russia just turned into the USSR overnight when when the convoys started rolling.
You wouldn't be insinuating that this is a plan by the government, would you? Or the media news at large? They would never do that.
No. Why would you think that?
Pay no attention to the man behind the Iron Curtain.
Well done.
Yeah, so the disinformation campaign is incredible. For Americans who are kind of looking for a news source in Canada who will tell you the truth, Ezra Levant with the Rebel Media is one of the people who will tell you what's going on the ground. Not because we don't have a lot of alt media here. Rebel News would be like the equivalent of Breitbart, I would say. Crum, is that an accurate
Ezra
statement?
is very, very slanted against federal left. So like, I would take it with a grain of salt. Any opinion matters, but like I'm sure reporting would be fine.
Yeah, he's got live streams and cameras on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Unlike CNN and CBC, who got like the helicopter shots and are constantly.
But just but if you're watching Ezra or reading Ezra's stuff, just understand that he has like a fucking hate boner for Justin Trudeau. So take that into account.
Don't we all?
Don't. Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't care. I don't care one way or the other about Trudeau, to be honest. But
yeah, Rebel would be like Canada's equivalent of Breitbart. We just don't have a Fox News. Like there's no Fox News that.
Yeah, there's
Canada.
no Fox News. Fox News is Fox News here.
Maybe the Sun News newspapers. So Toronto Sun, Calgary Sun. Maybe those are close, but they're only newspapers. They don't have a TV station.
Like I would suggest, just because like they do slant left, and they do have some snark, but CBC has been generally pretty down the middle for coverage wise. Certain things like they have to report left slant, but in terms of like not going out and printing complete bullshit, CBC has been pretty level in terms of Canadian media.
That's a great joke you just said there. Did you not read CBC saying that the convoy was Russian disinformation?
I didn't see that article, no.
I will send you that article. CBC tried to claim that the Russians were behind the convoy when they had crossed over towards Thunder Bay. That article came out, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And
I'm saying, for the large part, from what I've seen from CBC, they've been fairly neutral. Like, they do have a left lean, but they have been fairly neutral. Like, CTV has been incredibly fucking brutal on the convoy.
Yeah, so we basically have like 2 news stations, and then Toronto has like 5 of them to themselves.
Yeah.
CBC and CTV are like our national news channels, but they're basically MSNBC and CNN. I don't see a difference between them in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, again, CBC is not federally, like, it's not under the federal thumb.
Yeah, it is.
Public.
100%
it is. Publicly funded.
It's federally funded.
Publicly funded.
Yes, by federal funds.
Yeah, but they don't have, they shit on Trudeau just as much as they praise him.
Yeah, they were the ones who asked him what shampoo he uses. Real hard-hitting coverage.
Well, if we want to cherry pick things, then sure, but I've seen them be as hard on him as they have been fluffing him. So
the only reason they're going hard at him now is because of the caucus revolt he's having. So back to the political side of things.
At least they're reporting it.
Yeah,
unlike some news stations,
they really didn't have much of a choice, because the MPs were coming out doing public speeches. But so for the benefit of American friends, when we say MP, we're referring to the equivalent of a congressperson.
Yeah.
Right. So a legislature, a federal legislature.
Federal MPPs are provincial.
Yeah. So that would be
that'd be like state.
Yeah. So there are 4 MPs in Trudeau's caucus that have openly said, like, okay, you're not helping this situation.
Of course not. He
go
wants
out
it
there
to happen.
and deal with it. Now Canada has very strict party strict party lines.
Yeah,
it is very uncommon to see MPs break ranks with the party. It's not like it's not the same as the U.S. where Joe Manchin votes against the Democrats every time.
pretty much like a death knell for them at that point.
Yeah, you would get booted out of caucus and have to sit as an independent.
Yeah. Or across the table to a different party.
Yeah. Floor crossing as it's known as. So this is not something that happens a lot. You know, it happens if you have a government, it happens once or twice where someone dissents and crosses the floor.
Yeah.
It's rare to have 4 of them go at you at the same time.
Yeah. I agree. I'm not surprised because the modern day, like I would say historically it has been, because the party lines were very much defined before. Nowadays, I think politicians are interchangeable. I think they're wearing 3 jackets, and when it suits them, they'll take one of them off.
The NDP not so much, although the NDP is in big trouble because they've always been a working class party.
Yes.
And they just lost them.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Conservatives have been liberal light for the last, I don't know, through Scheer and O'Toole.
Well, the problem with the PC is that they amalgamated the separatists and the conservatives.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't find out which one they wanted to be, and then they decided to be moderates.
Which pleases, you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one.
Pissed everyone off.
Yeah, so, and that's the thing too, is in order to win the leadership, you have to run as a true conservative.
Exactly.
That's why the 2 front runners were Scheer and Bernier, right?
Yeah.
And then the last time around, it was O'Toole and McKay.
Well, I don't know why they didn't take McKay, to be honest.
Because Alberta hates McKay. They think he's too liberal.
Well, Jesus Christ, O'Toole was not any better.
Well, and that's why we fired him, is because he actually, being the guy at the table when O'Toole was talking his strategy, that might be a little doxing, but whatever. No one's going to listen to this, right?
Oof.
Oof.
That's it. That's all the time we have for today.
Anyways, no, I've heard the internal conversations when he was running for leader. He wanted to be the true blue conservative that also was in favor of LGBT rights and pro-choice. But he was at the time, he's like, I'm going to go hard against the carbon tax. I'm going to basically turn Alberta into an energy superpower. I'm going to go after pipeline protesters.
Which he didn't.
Yeah, exactly. And I was going to stick up for gun rights. I was going to actually expand gun rights.
He didn't do anything.
He sold us.
He didn't do anything.
These are the things he sold us in the leadership. And then, of course, he runs the election and does literally the opposite of all of those.
So he was a politician.
He's a politician, yeah.
He's good at his job, I suppose.
And then we fired him last.
Rightfully so. And I think more parties need to do that.
I'm hoping they fire Justin Trudeau. Fuck, if they do that, I think the protesters would leave Ottawa.
No, they wouldn't.
They just did the elect. You heard what Justin Trudeau came out and said. We just had an election on this issue. We just had an election on this.
That's the point, though. We did just have an election in the middle of the fucking pandemic. They put the things out on the table. The people voted for mandates. We got the same fucking bullshit.
They voted literally almost an identical parliament to the one.
Pretty much exactly the same.
You govern me hard, Daddy. I want you to govern me so hard.
Seriously,
one thing that would fix Canada? An electoral college.
That would.
Possibly.
That would benefit Alberta a lot.
Possibly.
It would benefit. You guys would benefit from it because look how these states benefit from it.
We should have proportional representation. I 100% have been saying that from even before. Look, the way that it's being represented right now does not reflect the country.
I would love to see like a hard right reform party from Alberta in Parliament. I mean, we're talking so far to the right.
But it would never happen, though. That's the problem.
Trudeau would never go for proportional because it.
We should do what I don't remember which European countries do it, but basically it's like Germany. There's set amounts per government, right? So like they have it so that no government will ever have more than 40% of the say, and that they always have to like work with the other parties. But basically, it's like it breaks it down to 40-30, 40-30, 20-10, and like the votes, and so like the people that get the most votes, they get the 40%. Second most gets the 30%, whatever.
So that's a mixed member proportional.
Yeah,
used in Germany.
Yeah,
I don't know if I like it though. I don't like the way it sounds. I feel like it sounds great on paper. But
here's
Germany's
the problem,
small. It would work in Canada, I think.
Well, it would work in the U.S.
Germany is like they have a little bit of a problem with the MMP system right now in Germany, just because of the difference between East Germany and West Germany. And that's the same country, right? Like Germany's not a very big country.
Not a very big country.
Compare that to Canada, every province would have its own party.
Yes. Which at this point, I think it needs to
messy.
happen.
That would be really messy.
Is it not messy right now? When you have literally Ontario and Quebec running the show for the other provinces?
Well, as Trudeau has said, he loves it, the communist China government, because they just get stuff done.
Well, no kidding. When everyone's threatened with a bullet in the back of their fucking brain, then it's pretty motivating.
Ontario and Quebec is a simple way to run the country. It's not the right way. It's not the correct way. But it is the simplest way to run the country. Imagine this. You never have to campaign outside of a 400-kilometer radius centered on Toronto.
You basically just have to campaign in the size of Germany.
Yeah. Now, there are 83 million people in Germany. I'm going to look up how many what are they called in Germany? Are they parliamentarians?
No idea.
I think so, probably.
Number of German federal politicians? Members? I don't know. I don't know what they call them. But I'm pretty sure it's over 500. It's like 570 something.
I mean,
federal
the US
legislators.
535 representatives.
There you go.
Senators.
The U.S.?
The U.S. has 435 reps and 100 senators, which brings a total of 535.
For a country the size of the U.S. and a population of 330 million.
Oh, yeah.
Now, and the U.S. is not even close to representative, whatever.
Oh, no, it's a huge number. It's like 600 to 700,000 per rep or something like that. I forget the actual number. It's stupid high. Like, each rep represents 600 to 700,000 people.
Here we go. There are 736 seats in the German parliament.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's what that is the big flaw of MMP is it doubles the size of your parliament. Could you imagine, Crumb? So we have 338 politicians in parliament.
Yeah.
Unlike the U.S., the prime minister actually has a seat in our legislature.
Yeah.
We have 338. Could you imagine doubling that for a country as big as Canada with only 33 million people?
But do we really need this many ridings?
Well, it's roughly 1 to 100,000 people, right? I think the U.S. is like 1 to 430,000. I remember someone saying that once.
So the U.S. is spread out. Canada's very densely populated in specific areas.
Yeah, like not 80% of us live within 100 miles of the U.S. border.
Yes.
So now, the reason that we are dominated by Ontario and Quebec is just a population game. Toronto is 3.5 million people. The GTA is 8 million. Montreal's 2 million people, and the greater Montreal area is around 5 million. In those areas alone, you're up to a third of the country.
Yeah, exactly.
In population. So it those two cities alone represent a third of all of our ridings.
Yeah. So what would be a flaw? Just saying this, just throwing this out there. What would be a flaw in a system where we had representation for like West, Central, and East? Like just say Central is like Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec. East is like, the Maritimes, and West is BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan. And then we have another layer where they just like that gets represented towards like the greater whole of the country in terms of federal, like because we clearly we're not doing a good fucking job of it right now.
I mean, the only way to even so the flaw, to answer your question, the flaw is in a system where Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba cannot outvote the rest of the country is a flaw.
No, I'm saying it would be equal between the three, right? The East, Center, West. The East, Center, West would be equally divided in power, not centralized on Ontario, Quebec.
But then it wouldn't be proportional because those three provinces have 1/3 the population of Ontario and like 1/8 the population of Ontario and Quebec.
Like, I understand.
Like, that's the thing is so it's not proportional. So now you're doing electoral college, which is what Ken said. And that would be the Senate reform that Harper talked about, where if you had a Senate that equally balanced the regions of Canada as the chamber of sober second thought, that would be an acceptable alternative. Okay, so you have proportional representation at the legislature level.
Yes.
And then you go up to the Senate where they have to, just like the U.S., right? We have a Senate where you have to pass a bill through.
Yes.
Otherwise, nothing happens.
And instead of you also have in the U.S. with most things in the Senate, you have to get cloture, which requires 60 votes. So you can't just have a simple majority.
No, the Canadian Senate works with a simple majority.
Well, I'm saying in the U.S. in the U.S. with the Senate, you have to have for most votes, except they changed it for Supreme Court nominees and presidential appointees to simple majority.
Yeah, because you'd never get anyone selected.
Yeah, and it also except for there's a certain type of legislative mechanism that only requires 51 votes, and it's a one shot per term thing. Outside of that, you need 60 votes to get cloture.
Yeah, which means that you need, and because of the way the Senate is done, right, 2 senators per state, that 60 votes would represent the entirety of the Republic, right? A very, very good representative sample of the Republic.
And since it's very rare that the Senate splits so heavily, more one direction than the other, it's usually never 60 on one side. Like, we've only had it happen a good handful of times recently, like a small handful of times within the last 50 years, I think, where the Senate's been 60 votes or more one direction. And I think it was Democrats when it happened.
Yeah, so that Senate reform would be a good way to balance the problem. The other thing, too, is we have a principle called equalization in Canada, and that is a sore point for Albertans. So could you imagine, Ken, could you imagine if Florida was to ship money out of its state coffers to California because they have a budget deficit?
Yeah.
We do that already. It's just passed through the federal government.
Yeah, but there's not a state. No. That's disbursement through welfare, right? You're talking about the federal government, Medicaid, Medicare, and whatnot. No, I'm saying literally when every Albertan pays his federal taxes, the government then signs a big check over to Quebec as part of an equalization transfer. And our Atlantic provinces, which are a lot smaller and have shit economies because they relied on overfishing for so many years, that they run budget deficits to maintain a similar level of provincial service. That was the point of equalization. The equalization formula determines, which country or which province has money to spare and which ones don't. Now, you'd think that'd be just, what was your budget revenue and what was your budget deficit? And we'll figure everything else out. No, the formula is actually really complicated because it factors things in like the royalties you make on resource development, but only for non-renewable resource development, like oil and gas. Mm-hmm. Whereas Quebec, who generates their chief export is hydroelectric power, which is a renewable resource, even though the dams are more destructive than the oil sands mines are. But we'll get in. That's another conversation.
Let's not talk about that. We can't talk about that. That goes in there. Shut up, Tim.
Anyways, Leo DiCaprio, don't cancel me. Anyways, they are not. That is not factored into the wealth of the province. Similar for New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, which just don't do anything, right? They have put bans on resource development in those provinces. So they always run budget deficits. So now Alberta's being punished because we actually developed our resources.
Yeah. Well,
and we ship money to the provinces that habitually run deficits on purpose.
Yeah, the idea was that it balances out year over year, but there are premiers that run it planning on having other provinces pay for it.
Could you imagine doing that, Ken, where after you've paid your federal taxes, and then when you start doing federal disbursements, they're just like, yeah, we're going to take all the money meant for Florida and just give it to California because they have a budget deficit this year.
Yeah, your country's fucked, dude.
Yeah, so equalization is, and the reason equalization is allowed to exist is because we are a federation.
Yeah.
You could never do that program in the United States because states have sovereignty over their own finances.
Yeah. And Quebec does too, apparently.
Well, they don't really. I mean, the federal government can go into Quebec and just take over.
I mean, they can do that with anybody, but they won't.
Yeah. You would never do that because it's political suicide. Yeah. But what Quebec has done is they said we're opting out of the Canadian pension plan and we're going to make our own. Yeah. Which is something every province can do.
Yeah.
Quebec's just the only one that did it.
Well, Quebec is the only one that does fucking literally anything that you can do. Like,
yep.
They're the only ones that have held referendums. They're the only ones that have opted out of fucking stuff and done their own thing. I don't know what the hell we elect people for.
My favorite part is that you fucked up when you have people singing "O Canada" and waving Canadian flags in front of the Quebec National Assembly. Quebec so strongly believes it should be its own country that they named their provincial legislature the National Assembly of Quebec. So
when you're dealing with the amount of idiots that we get to deal with on a daily basis, then
now the real question is, will this protest bring about the change? One of the changes that's needed, which includes more funding in the form of making fun of Stan Dahlin.
It's true. We've gone this entire hour without making fun of Stan.
Or you know what, Stan? Fuck you, Stan. Disorder.
He's been quiet this entire time, hoping that we forgot about him.
I thought he died. Or
maybe he put us on mute and just walked away.
Nope. Wishful thinking.
He is shitposting in the chat like the rest of us degenerates, so he's okay.
Don't make me play the In Touch podcast again.
Anyway,
so help me
I need to shut off again.
I'm going to do a quick... first of all, does anyone have any questions regarding the convoy that I maybe can answer before I bow out?
I'm just letting it run. I'm watching with popcorn right now. I think personally, this isn't a question. This is just my own personal observations of it. I don't think it's going to turn out as well as the convoy people hope it would.
I mean, it never does, right?
It never does.
You always over ask in your demands because then when you compromise, you get exactly what you were wanting. It's like how Pawn Stars does their fucking...
The house always wins in
best
these
I can do.
It's like when you ask for anal and you settle for just a BJ.
The problem here, in my opinion, is that the mandates were going to come down within the next couple of months anyways. Everything has been shown that that's probably what was going to be happening. Going in the death throes of this pandemic mandate bullshit and then pulling this, if they did this a year ago, okay, it might have been better, but doing it now when we're pretty much out of it and everyone's realizing okay, even doctors now are finally yeah, we just have to, this isn't as severe, we just have to live with it now. It doesn't seem like it seems like this is going to do more for the government to clamp down on liberties than anything else.
I wonder too, because we know they were all coming down, and I mean the truckers are already celebrating and saying the mandates in Saskatchewan and Alberta came down because of the truckers, which
I mean it might have come down a week or two earlier.
Which I mean the truckers will take that as the victory. I wonder if the timing had to do with...
That's like celebrating because you danced at 5 o'clock in the morning and the fucking sun came up. Hey,
do not make fun of my people. If it weren't for us dancing, that sun would never come back.
Hey, remember, the Aztecs were doing that for years, and they thought, we've been sacrificing people by ripping their hearts out, and the sun seems to be pleased. Let's keep doing that. And we've been doing it for centuries.
It's fucking tiger repellent.
I do think that the truckers will celebrate the drop of the mandates as their victory.
Of course they will.
I'm guessing that was always the plan from day one.
But this is the point, though. They didn't cause it. It was happening anyways, naturally. And the only thing that's going to come out of this is more clampdowns on fucking liberties.
I mean, you say tomato, I say tomato.
Like, well, that's yay, the thing too, is we won, we got the mandates down. Now we have to just, put on our federally regulated shock collars.
And take all our guns away.
Yeah. Give them a fucking, give the fucking government an excuse.
If you don't mind, I'm going to do a quick plug before I run off.
Go for it.
So, for those who are not familiar, I am the lesser half of the duel known as the MGTOWN podcast. I don't know if Stan knows what that is, but do you know Drexel from Nick Rekieta?
Yes, I know Drexel. I've met him.
Okay.
You're at the BBC.
MGTOWN podcast is Drexel's show.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Oh, I'm aware.
Okay, I didn't think you would follow us. That's all.
Just because I know about it doesn't mean I actually listen to it.
Ooh.
You know what? You know what? Fair enough. I think that listening to the MGTOWN podcast is a liability in and of itself.
I get a sample of that every time Drexel visits his friend Nick on his show. So.
Oh, Billy, did you watch the Cuck Murphy stuff? Was that not the funniest thing you've seen in the last 2 years?
Oh man, that was hilarious.
That was pretty good.
But yeah, and then for Crumb's audience as well, we'd appreciate. Drexel is 390 subscribers away from 10,000.
There you go.
So we would really appreciate if you'd head over to our channel, click subscribe. We also have our own show website, mgtown.show. Go to the About page. You'll find links to all of our other properties. We're on Odyssey, we're on Locals, Patreon, Subscribestar. Not Rumble, though. I don't like Rumble.
Yeah.
But
there you go.
Anyways, thanks for having me, Grum.
Thanks, Tim.
We'll see you around.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have you back on our show sometime. It's been too long.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Good night, everyone. Stay frosty.
Hi, Tim.
Tim.
Thanks for your insight, Tim.
Back to beating the crap out of Stan now.
All right, so let's talk about Stan. I was supposed to say Tim's transvestite fetishism, but I got that wrong. Well, that's probably right too. But
everyone talks about black people being held down and blah 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 blah. Drexel debuted on podcasts outside of being on Nick's show. He debuted on this show, by the way. And he has 10 times the amount of subscribers I have. Let's talk about oppression for a second here.
I'm sorry. Are you trying to leverage your white privilege?
I am being oppressed right now.
I think so.
I am being oppressed.
Tim, I swear to God, if you kill my D&D character tomorrow, you will not, you dare not kill Glowgasm. I will kill you.
Oh my God.
That's my character's name is Glowgasm.
Oh my God. I don't even want to know.
You don't. We're trying to forcibly take someone from the party. Myself and Dollhouse Phil.
God.
It's a great D&D game so far.
My God. So back to this. Before we got so rudely interrupted by Canadian politics.
You fucking Canadians.
Fucking Canadian politics ruins everything.
You and your maple syrup and your floppy heads.
We were getting into the discussion about some very, very allegedly intelligent people on the internet telling us how contracts work in conventions. Saying that Stan has no idea how contracts work, telling me I have no idea how contracts work. How allegedly people who are lawyers in Texas saying that verbal contracts don't exist.
We'll be in touch.
We'll be in touch.
We will be in touch.
Someone fucking check my pulse because I don't know if I'm alive. What the fuck world are we in right now where we have people saying that verbal contracts don't exist? Secret contracts?
Verbal contracts were the fucking shit for a long time.
Well, to be fair, there are certain states in the country that do not recognize a verbal contract.
Texas does, though.
But the state that matters does.
Georgia does.
Georgia does.
Florida
I'm
does.
pretty sure Florida does. Yeah, I'm going to say Florida does. The free state of Florida that I live in.
So how can you... So using the logic, the endless, infinite fucking pan-galactic logic of law Twitter, how does one go about proving a verbal contract?
Well, let's put it this way. I bet you it didn't start off as a verbal contract.
Right?
It was either a text message or an email or a DM. One of those. Where it started off, "Hey Vic, would you like to come to my show?" Vic says, "Yes." Oh. It starts off that way. And then they work out the details in some verbal agreement, either over the phone or whatnot. So
then you have an agreement.
You have an agreement. And then to solidify that agreement, it's always part of the fact that the convention that makes the agreement with the talent, guest, has to promote the guest attending at their show to get somebody to show up at their doors.
Right? Generally, that's how it goes.
To help facilitate the agreement. Otherwise, they will not have any money to pay for said guests. So, which is kind of why I think Monica and Jamie did this podcast, because their appearances are probably drying up.
Oh, absolutely.
And nobody wants to agree to their terms, which basically is, we know we're not going to get anybody to come in our line, or not enough for us to make money. So I'm going to do it on the back end and request a parent's fee
always did on the back end, though.
That $6,000 or so, roughly.
Who the hell wants them in a show?
Plus hotel and travel and food stipend, and so
like they are literally just throw-ins for bigger voice actors at this.
I mean, I don't know how they're taking away money from bigger actors.
Yes, because
they're relying on the bigger actors to pay for Monica and Jamie's appearance, but in the end, that might shortchange them having to pay the appearance fees for the bigger people.
Exactly.
So,
like a lot of things, that some of your heavy hitters help subsidize the lower, like the new people or the lower part of the team, but they were supposed to be the heavy hitters for a long time, and they seem to not be drawing anywhere near the crowds and the income, and like it's just not there.
No,
it seems like it's gone.
Well, it's not like they're getting roles that are that popular to generate any kind of attention.
They're not getting
or
anything
any convention
iconic.
that they're invited to. So,
like, they're not getting any iconic roles. They're not getting anything that they're memorable for. It's like, I mean, yeah, you sound like a screeching 3-year-old. Great. Is that memorable? Do people know the difference between?
So here's a question. So do we know what the statistics on their podcast is at this point? Like how many downloads or viewers? Is that number public?
I don't think so.
Because the metrics would be interesting to see if we had access to them. Because one, if they're not public, they will lie about it. Two, so I'm just putting that out there now. I'm not saying there's not.
Gee, where did you get that idea from, Ken? Have you been watching G4 on Twitch?
Yes.
I think there's a reason they put it on WordPress and not on YouTube.
Or on Apple Podcasts where you can track downloads.
Exactly.
Yeah, or something like that. Because if it's on WordPress, then they can. I mean, there's like I've fucked around with WordPress and stuff before. There's add-ons for podcasting because I looked into doing that, and there's ways to show public downloads and metrics and stuff, but they don't have it set up. They're either, I don't know what their purpose is, but I think they're gonna try and lie about the numbers. They're gonna be like, oh,
absolutely,
10,000 people downloaded our show. Maybe, but because Nick Rakita and everyone else was talking about it, that's the only reason.
Yes.
If it wasn't for that, no one fucking cared.
Exactly.
Maybe a third of that was your actual people. And they're going to try and use it to leverage. Look, we told the truth. Yeah, but you didn't distill it down into a way that anyone can fucking care and listen. Like, if people watch my show, they go for like 3 to 7 hours. No, if I want people to distill down my shit, I have to make a video, which I don't do.
Exactly.
Like, I expect that. But if I'm trying to get a message out there, I want that shit, like, quick. Like 10, 20, 30 minutes tops.
Yeah.
An hour and a half for one episode. And if their goal is to tell the story, great. If that's all they care about, if this isn't to leverage conventions or more income or more shows or director positions, whatever. If that's not the case, then okay. But I have a strong doubt that's not what they're trying to do. They want that. They need that leverage because they're trying it for money.
Yes.
Because Monica was the, I think, main income earner for her before Braun. I know Braun probably made money, and I think they're splitting up now. They don't live together or something.
They apparently don't live together.
Which tells me they're not engaged anymore.
Well, she refers to him as her partner now, and not her fiance anymore. So.
Not her personal fucking.
Well, to be fair, there is such a thing as a partner in crime, but what do I know?
Listen, stop talking about this, okay? You said you wouldn't. You said you'd keep our marriage under wraps so we could get away with the crime, you fucker. So, because that's spousal privilege. That's a nice thing to have if you're going to commit a crime. Just a pro tip.
They would have to go through with it.
They can't make your spouse testify if she knows about your crime or if he knows about your crime.
And like I know that people ask me like the whole situation that I covered with Tayucon back about a month or two ago. People have asked me to like distill that down to like a 10 or 15 minute video. It's like I don't have the time to do this shit. If someone out there is autistic enough to do it for me, then by all means go for it. But I come on here sometimes once a week, sometimes a little bit longer, but more than once a month. I come out here, try and do like an hour to 3 hour show, make it entertaining, make it a fun thing to listen to. I'm not a fucking YouTuber. Like, I don't make the, I'm going to draw up a script and I'm going to break it down and for a 10, 15 minute video and like and subscribe, thumbs up.
That requires work.
It requires a lot of fucking work, and I got a full-time job.
Why do you think I do live streams?
There's one where you actually do the work, Crone.
Exactly.
And it's because you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's your music videos.
True. This is true.
Oh, I thought it was the toy interviews because those were like beautiful things that never, like, I don't think we can recreate that. I would pay to have him back. I will pay this man. I will commit to having Ron on my show, and I will give him half of the super chats. No, fuck, I'll give him 70% of the super chats.
That man is never going on another YouTube broadcast.
He will not come on. I don't think he will.
Might be just too little.
Well, it's like, so this is what I mean. Like Trent Michaels, it takes you 2 hours to make a 15 to 20 minute video. I spent more time editing that beeping noise. I spent more time.
Damn it, you did notice.
Yeah, we heard it.
Can you
editing.
Not practice your bomb detonation?
Exactly. I thought it was bomb.
No, it's just an air fryer.
Oh, okay.
Allah Akbar.
I spent more time editing the Toye music videos than I did recording them. I did like that last song I did in like 15 minutes. Like with a couple of retakes that I took. Just 15 minutes. And it took me like 3 hours to edit it.
I was about to say that probably took 2 to 3 hours to do an edit.
And it was just because like I had to go in and put the fucking lyrics in, and that requires a lot of timing and everything.
Actually, there's ways to do that are much easier depending on your editing software.
Oh, I use Premiere, so.
I think there's plugins for Premiere that allow you to make lyrics videos pretty easy.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Don't tell me that.
Why?
I've been wasting so much time, Ken.
I'm trying to help you for the future. I can't undo
years of my life.
Well, it was like a day of total editing across how many songs? Okay, calm those tits. Like, thank you.
Tits will not be calmed.
You will calm those tits because they're like all over the place.
But no, I enjoy doing the music videos. Those are fun. But like, am I gonna sit down and go through like after I've already broadcast for like 3.5 hours? Am I gonna go through and watch 3.5 hours to find clippable moments, or go out and make?
You have other people who do that. Like Wesley, who popped into the chat, who likes to spring out a clip from an interview with where I poke some holes.
I mean, so I'm saying, by all means, folks, if you want to clip up my stuff and like do that, fine. Like if you don't like me and you want to use my stuff, fine. Just don't fucking cut and paste it for the sole purposes of taking views away from my videos. It's like, just don't do that. But like, I mean, like, by all means, if you want to condense the stuff that we talk about, or if you want to, like, for example, today, if someone out there is really super duper into fucking Canadian politics and wants to cut out the hour of the show and then use that for talking points, whatever, go for it. But in terms of like the Toye stuff, that shit was like 12 hours worth of footage. And like there was a lot of stuff that happened on there that I really wish people would like watch and not just bellyache over, but go back and watch it. Go back and see his reactions. Go back and like clip this stuff, because like there's moments in there that are just like
gold. The thing is, the Ron videos, for example, I don't think you can you can clip parts of it, but to get a true understanding of it, you can't clip it.
You can't clip it.
You have to watch. It's literally like a TV show.
Exactly.
You have to watch episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and episode 4, because there's just too much going on.
Exactly.
And if you clip it, you're clipping it out of context, which is why I don't necessarily like clips are cool when they're like funny or they're like specific off-subject topics from the main conversation for like a moment.
Yes.
Like clipping out Tim's thing about the Canada shit would make sense.
Yes.
Because it's specific, it went off topic, it's not the whole stream. Trying to clip maybe segments of this might make sense as long as it's all within context.
Exactly.
But like that's why I don't try to even make clips of my shit. One, because I don't have the time. I just started a new fucking job and it's whipping the shit out of me.
Exactly.
2, it's a lot of work, and I don't want to give people the idea that I'm clipping shit out of context. I can tell people exactly where to go, which videos to find shit in. Go to this stream, go to this timestamp roughly, and you'll find it.
Exactly.
But that's what you do. Like clipping shit can be helpful for certain things, other things not so much.
Well, that's why I haven't chopped up the Toye interview at all, because I don't want to be accused of editing anything with that. But it's not like it was boring at any point. Like,
no, my God, that thing was from my perspective,
boring,
it was amazing.
Frustrating.
Oh, that's the right answer.
Yes.
I'm like sitting on my end of it, like there's so many things I want to say, and I have to not say them. I have to say them like Crumb knows because what you guys don't know, some deep lore here, is the entire time during those interviews, I'm messaging Crumb on the back end. And I'm saying,
I was getting several messages in the back.
Yeah, like I'm messaging like, should I go hard on this, or should I what about this, or oh, holy shit, this is frustrating the fuck out of me. Why am I want to say so much? Like those conversations were happening, and it was oh my God, it was ridiculous, because I knew if I went like people went at Crowman went at me for like, why didn't you go hard at him? Why didn't you go hard at him? Because he left. We got 10 hours of great content out of that.
Exactly.
That was 10 hours of him just blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Which is what people wanted. You don't get that if you confront.
No.
Not to someone like that. Not to someone who presents with somewhat narcissistic behaviors, more sociopathic behaviors. But
well, we saw what happened when you do go hard at him when he was on with Emish, right?
He ran.
He shelled up, he got defensive, and he ran away.
He ran away while he was there by shelling up, and ran away actually by leaving.
Yeah. And he didn't come back.
You can run away while still being there just by not saying enough.
Exactly.
Like, you can just make the conversation,
and he was being combative.
The conversation was combative, and we did go in circles several times on the show here.
Yeah.
But we also moved forward how many times onto similar or different topics that were critical.
Exactly.
That were crucial pieces of information that I don't think we would have gotten without doing the show. And that's Crumb's genius.
That's what I tried to do. Like, it's one of those situations.
Crumb made it work.
Go ahead, Ken.
I was going to say, Crumb made it work to where I don't know how much of a hand I had in it. I tried. But Crumb was the moderator there to keep things cool. And when things were kind of like, Crumb was able to make the conversation move forward. Crumb was able to make the conversation go on to pertinent topics when things got stuck. Because for me, it's natural to want to just kind of, I don't like moving on from topics. So it's like, I want to address this. I don't want you running away from it. Like, I do that with clients. Like,
yeah,
hey, let's talk about this. Why don't you want to talk about this? Unless they have a real, like, if they say, I don't want to talk about it, I still want to know why they don't want to.
Well, and we circled back to things too.
Yeah.
And so it was one of those things, like, it was like Hop, when I said that I was going to have Ron on the show, Hop was very opposed to it. And I know Vic was very opposed to it after he found out.
He was very opposed to it. Yep, I heard about it.
I told
him it was
literary
gold.
Yeah. It was a situation, and I'll never forget that conversation I had with Vic either. He's like,
I think you told me how pissed off he was, or he was upset, and you were like,
well,
I like Vic, but I don't want to piss him off, but I think this is the right thing to do. Kind of.
Yeah. And, like, I didn't ask Vic for permission, number one, because I didn't have to, but number two was because, like, I know he was going to say no. I didn't want to cross that line with him. It'd be much easier to beg his forgiveness than ask for permission in that situation, but...
That's one of those times you use that rule.
Exactly.
Vic's mind was that why give them any attention at all?
Because he's going to get it.
That was the attention that needed to be...
That's the point. Like, that's what I said, because, like, that was Hop's
giving him the rope so he can hang himself.
Exactly. That was Hop's disposition on it too. He's like, well, why are you giving him attention? Why? Because he's going to get it. So we may as well go with someone that we can trust to get the information out of him, rather than let him go to some favorable platform or go to some combative platform and have him shut down entirely and then never get that information at all.
I still don't know why he decided to talk to me. Like, I could analyze everything else, but I still don't know why he showed up the first time.
Because that is the role of the egomaniac. When you see somebody that could potentially challenge you, you take that challenge head on, because you can't be humble and, turn it down when you obviously see there's a fucking problem with it.
Well, it was the point in time.
He was trying to find my licensing board and shit to get me fired. That's how hardcore he was.
He was hardcore.
Yep.
Like, it was the point in time because I saw him, and this is my own, like, autismo coming out a little bit, right? Because I may not have the paper training, but I can see key pieces in human behavior that line up some points for me here. I saw up to that point he didn't want to fucking engage with anybody, but then he started reaching out, right? He started commenting on videos, he started commenting on YouTubers. That, to me, signaled he wanted to go out and start talking to people. That's why I reached out to him, because I'm like, all right, well, if he's open to talking, he's going to get someone that's going to go in there and call him, like, a stupid cuck F word, and then he's just going to shell up and go away. I'm like, I can trust myself to go on and handle this conversation and have a discussion in a way that will either, exonerate him or condemn him. And that's not my doing, because, like, I'm not going to lead him. I'm not going to push him down a path. I'm not going to force him to drink the Kool-Aid or whatever water is in front of him. Let him do his thing. Because when you're talking to people like this, because one of two things could have happened in that conversation. either he could have made himself sound reasonable and actually had a human side to him, or he could... Why is a puzzle piece being held for review?
It's great.
Or he could have done what he did on the show, which is like opened his fucking mouth and crazy falls out. That was up to him. What was up to me was kind of like gently, you know, allowing him to just get comfortable and have a conversation.
Keep that playpen open.
I mean,
it even helped when he had alcohol.
Oh my god!
Think about this though. If you look at it from the most hardcore angle, it could have gone. This could have been the thing that completely destroyed anything Vic said.
Exactly.
Like, could have presented every piece of evidence. Another puzzle piece just got held for review.
Really?
Yeah, another one. But this could have presented every single thing against Vic, and Vic would have had like nothing to stand on.
Exactly.
Like, this could have destroyed. This was the opportunity to destroy Vic on a friendly platform to Vic.
This was the thing, though, right? Because like as much as I support Vic, and like I 100% support Vic, and all that stuff. If something came out that completely took out the legs of Vic's story and made it so that he was lying about everything, I would 100% like not stand for it.
And that would be perfectly fair, because that's all we're looking for.
Exactly.
We want the truth, and
Want
we
the
want the
fucking
truth in
truth.
this. Regardless of which side is actually being honest, that is the most important thing, the truth. And people have been frustrated for years now.
Exactly.
On whether or not people have been telling the truth or not. So
it's like I'm not married to any narrative. I'm not married to any like support. I've sunk so much time and effort into defending Vic. If something came out that showed that I was completely wrong and Vic was lying, I would be on top of that and I would be blasting that out. I wouldn't be hiding it. I wouldn't be trying to run deference for it. Like that's the point people don't understand. It's like I'm on the side of the truth, and right now, and it has been for 3 years, the truth has been on the side of Vic up to this point. And like we gave Toye the chance to come on here.
10 hours.
Hours.
He had 10 hours plus, I believe, was the total sum of the time he was on stream.
Yes.
It was 10 hours.
10 hours plus.
And not a single strong piece of evidence came up to justify it. Not even, I say that to give benefit to Toye. Not a strong piece of it, not even, nothing.
Nothing.
There's nothing leaning in that direction. And at the end of the day, I'm some internet weird fucking guy with a fucking cartoon character or whatever at this point. That's one of my criticisms. Tom P., your puzzle piece got censored. I'm just remembering. This is great. The only one who wasn't was Toyman's. So it was Stan's because he's privileged. But
don't be mocking my privilege.
He's wrench privileged.
I know. You can post whatever when you have a wrench. It's great. But if you want to if you don't I've called most of these things correct. I'm still confident I was right about Sophie. I feel confident I was right about Vic, and if you want to see that I'm right about Vic, go look at my original video analyzing the deposition with Nick.
Yeah,
that's one of the go and watch the deposition video. Put that deposition video next to Vic on this show. Put that next to Vic on, another interview or two. He's talked about this. You can see and hear the way he reacts versus the way that's that. I called PTSD for Kyle Rittenhouse before it was said in court. I called it fucking flat out called it before it was said in court, and I was right. And Gav's puzzle pieces got censored too. This is a great.
You got enough puzzle pieces there, Gav?
Oh my god.
I mean, it describes Gav very well, but it's okay. But I'm not just making shit up. I mean, I have yet, I could still post my transcript to prove my shit if I need to, but I don't think I need to. Because I've been, and Nick has even said to me, if you're lying, you're doing a very damn good job of it.
Exactly.
So, and Nick is, even before he's supported me after losing my job. He said that long before then. He said, if you're faking this, you're doing a damn good job of it. So
Yeah.
I do this because I like my field. I like doing mental health. I think it's interesting to analyze people like this. It's kind of fun. I truly was hoping to get Ron to see I didn't come in with any malicious intent. I still don't really have it. I think it's kind of funny to poke fun, but I still hope Ron could see the light of day and realize maybe he's making a mistake here. Maybe Ron comes out with a redemption arc like Mundane Matt. That would be the funniest twist of this all. That would be the M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong spin on this whole thing, is if Ron Toye gets a redemption arc, like a true redemption arc, and it would be great if he just comes out and fucking throws Monica under the bus. How great would that be? That would be a big
Could you imagine the top 10 enemy betrayals?
That would be the top 1 anime betrayal ever. Nothing could top that. Like, yes, you were a cuck, but you came out and you were the alpha Giga Chad now. The real one for that shit, because that is the best fucking thing ever.
If that were to happen, do you think they would actually adapt it into an actual anime? Like somebody would,
I would
like,
pay
jot
to
it all
have it
down
adapted.
and be like, based on a true story.
I guarantee you could get a crowdfunded anime made of that.
Oh yeah,
maybe like a 10-episode miniseries starring Vic Mignogna with actual Vic Mignogna. That'd be great. I think people would pay for that because it would be in. Tom,
I would.
I will stop talking about the damn potato microphone. I will come through this chat and I will whip your ass. Stop mic shaming me. But I think people would pay to see that because it would be the biggest redemption arc you could ever fucking imagine. How'd you go from defaming yourself, you're defaming someone so hardcore, to going, my fiance's a fucking cuck. Thank you, Gav, for posting your dick in chat.
Wow.
That was great. Or at least Eggplant, my bad. They looked similar to me.
Yeah, but he put in the chess piece, and I'm like, why did that come up for review?
But the potatoes are fine.
Potatoes are fine. What the fuck? This is ridiculous. I hate fucking YouTube moderation so much.
Oh my god.
This is so stupid.
Well, you got to admit, Tom, Ken's mic hasn't dropped him once. So it's got to be a better mic.
I haven't been dropped since I was dropped on my head as a baby. Thank you very much. Oh, you're going to laugh at that? That's serious shit. Oh, that's okay. You can laugh at that all day.
Sorry. I love to laugh at dark shit.
We have to have giggle fits to keep up with the In Touch podcast.
Oh, I was talking to you, Tom B. You damn straight I was talking to you. Don't you ever forget that.
Oh my god.
3:00 playground, be there.
Well, it's so like the entire voice acting industry is just so catty and political, right? The microphone is not censored either. What is this?
Nope.
Okay, that's hardcore discrimination. I can't stand that.
Like
we'll just throw this out. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just throw this out real quick. That in the earlier days of Funimation, and I mentioned this a long time ago, back in 2019, it was described to me that the Funimation cast and crew were nothing but than a bunch of crew members who love to have orgy parties. So, and that came from a female, who participated.
I believe it.
So,
it's such an interesting thing that people who are not talented, and people can say Monica's talented. Having been born with a voice is not a talent. She plays the same voice, the same type of thing all the time. So like, I don't really consider that a talent, but hey,
she's getting typecasted. So.
Getting typecasted.
Yeah,
but it's like.
But if you listen to any of the stuff that she was in ADV, she had a very big range, larger range on the vocals, and it was not in her natural voice. So, when she gets typecast, it's for her, it's easy as anything else because she's talking her normal voice. She doesn't have to work for it.
And again, like that's not talent, right? Because when I listen to her in her roles, I don't get like the connection or the emotional connection that I get from people who are actually talented, who can actually bring a character to life, right? Like when you listen to stuff that Vic does, when you listen to stuff that Quentin Flynn does, they bring life into those characters, and that's why they're popular with fans, because that's memorable performances. It's when you listen to someone who sounds like cardboard, it just sounds like an everyday. The difference between good voice acting and bad voice acting. People say that all the time.
Like, I've been watching a lot of anime recently because of you fuckers. And, most of that, my wife. Like, I've been binge watching, I've really fallen hard for Sword Art Online. And I watch a lot of dubs.
You weeb!
Yeah, I know. Fuck you guys. But, like, I used to make fun of my wife for watching anime long ago. And now she fucking rags on me all the fucking time. You said anime was stupid. You said anime was like... I hear that shit all the fucking time now. Thank you guys. All because I wanted to watch fucking the shit that Vic's in. God damn it. What the hell's the big one?
Full Metal Alchemist?
Full Metal. Thank you. All because I wanted to watch Full Metal to see Vic's performance. And like Vic is invested in that character. Vic takes on the role of that character, which is what a good actor does.
Yes.
Like you could tell when you watch that like he plays that actor, that role really well. When I watch some of these other animes I've been watching, I can tell the one, like, for example, in some of the SAO shit, the voice actors to me, I think, are pretty good in that one. Like, they seem very invested in it. Their characters are real well laid out. They don't seem to alter anything, like, major between the sub versus the dub. Like, none of the main things seem to change, because I've watched some of the sub stuff. What have we been watching? We've been watching a lot of Yasha Ime. My wife and I watched that because we both like Inuyasha. And, the dubs for both of those are pretty good. And so you could see the ones who are invested in their characters versus the ones that suck.
Exactly.
It's kind of obvious, But the ones who invested in their character, they really care. And I've looked up the ones where I've known Monica's participated. I can kind of tell whenever they're obviously her roles, or when they're a role from someone like that. Mm-hmm. Or I've watched some of her roles and I'm like, God, these are awful. Like, it doesn't seem to like her role in Full Metal. I think she was the little Asian kid with the panda, right? Or was that Jamie? It was someone, I think, right?
Like, their voices are so interchangeable.
I know, I can't remember. And, while it was good probably for the time, I bet you if you looked at shit recently, is she better or worse? Or the same? Does she still have the same level of investment? Because she's probably hit the burnout point of her career.
Yeah. She's
probably no longer invested in this job. Especially after the shit that went down over the last 3 years. Because I followed this saga closely. I was a fan of Nick's before the Vic stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I've been watching him since before then. And I've watched all of it go down from the beginning. So, she's probably tired of it. But it's the only thing she knows. Just the only thing she's been doing for 15 years, 20 years. However long it's been at this point, I don't fucking know. How do you move on from a job like that? What do you do next? She can't really do regular acting. No offense.
So maybe she wasn't getting any theater roles. So, not that I'm aware of.
You could probably star in a role. She could probably do one of those drug commercials. Like,
she could probably do like a Dentyne commercial or something.
She probably did a commercial back in the day, but that was a long time ago. I mean, the most recent one that I've saw was Lucy Christian, who did a series of commercials in Houston.
Your genitals still itch. Try, like, that's the thing I see her in next, right? Something like that, maybe.
Commercial for AARP.
I was thinking maybe more of an anti-itch cream for down there after a certain type of transmitted disease. But it's just, potential thing she could look into. You might make good money on it because your face is plastered all over the place. Like, you got herpes. Like, you're the actor or actress who has herpes, and everyone knows your face all over the fucking TV. I'm sure
that's why she probably wouldn't do that and just do radio ads.
They get compensated well, I would assume, because they're being paid by fucking pharmaceutical companies, knowing everyone thinks you have herpes. You think they make money. I'm just saying. There was a Friends episode about this where Joey does a fucking thing like that, and he's got a fucking STD, and everyone thinks he has herpes, and none of the chicks will sleep with him or something like that. That's literally a Friends episode.
Harriman just gave me the best idea. We have to somehow make a commercial for Mentos, where it's recreating the scene of Stan coming across them in the hotel room.
Oh my god!
And like Vic just pops a Mentos and everyone just starts laughing.
Okay.
Have you never seen a Mentos commercial, Stan? Oh, please
I've seen a variety of Mentos commercials, but that's not one of them.
Or anything remotely close
Mentos
to that.
commercial with the famous do 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 do.
Exactly. And then they just start making out, but then it's like, oh no. And then Stan breaks in and it's like, oh no, and then Vic just pops a Mentos and everything is okay.
It's so fucking 90s.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. I don't know. Put that on the back burner.
Also, someone asked in the chat real quick, and they might be able to help me with this. They asked what episode of SAO I was on, or what season. I'm on War of Underworld and Alicization, but to my knowledge, only the subs are out. I don't know if the dubs are out for that yet. If someone knows about the dubs being out, can you please fucking help me find them? Because I really want to watch them with dubs first.
And if it's only just sub, I recommend you Drifters.
What's this?
It is a historical fantasy anime where a bunch of historical figures are transported into an alternate world when they die.
Huh. Interesting.
Drifters, you said?
Yes. I highly recommend it. I recommend it if you're into like violence, blood, and gore and whatnot, because it does get crazy. Some historical figures include World War II soldiers. What's his name? There were some feudal lords such as Oda Nobunaga and Joan of Arc, just to name a few. It gets weird, but it's good.
Someone said Vic voices a gay character in Drifters.
I have no idea.
That'd be amazing. But yeah, if someone can answer me that question about SAO War and Underworld, that'd be amazing, because I've been trying to watch it with subs, and when you watch it with dubs, like, you expect to hear the voices of the English actors, and it's a little frustrating. And I'm not gonna lie. Half the time I multitask when I do shit, so like I'm not straight up watching it the whole time. So like I might be like on my phone or doing work, and so I'm like watching it, but like passively.
Mm-hmm.
And even though when I watch with the dubs, I still watch with subtitles. Don't ask me why. I watch TV.
No, I do the same thing, dude. I don't blame you.
I watch TV with subtitles all the time. My wife fucking hates it.
I know, right? Everyone hates it.
I have to be doing more than one thing at once when I'm watching TV. And that's my other thing.
I can't.
Because I need to read and listen.
Yeah.
So when I have the sub, and now I've been trying to, I've downloaded, it somehow appeared from a pirate ship into my computer. I have now Rosetta Stone to learn Japanese, so I can actually watch the subs and appreciate them potentially at some point once I fucking learn to speak Japanese, when I ever have the fucking time to do my Rosetta Stone, which I told my wife was like the proper way to watch sub content. It's like a true weeb watches sub content after learning fucking Japanese, so they can actually understand it. Trying to be a dick, and she just was like, she just told me to shut the fuck up, and then she was like, let me out of my cage.
Like, no, I call you weak. We used to watch anime straight.
Exactly.
No subtitles.
You made up your own back in the day.
Stan probably directly translated the shit as the video was starting.
Nah, I'm not that good.
A-Wake says it was a drag queen, not necessarily gay, but that's correct.
Drag queen with normal pants.
Drag queens are not necessarily gay. Thank you for proving the point. I actually have to argue that with people sometimes because they actually assume that. I've actually seen
Gav,
straight drag queens.
Gav, yeah, I'm working with Vic on doing another show. It's just right now the problem is scheduling. Vic's got a lot of stuff happening every weekend.
God damn
so
it, Vic.
It's just a question of,
damn it, Vic. How dare you be successful?
Does anyone know if Vic's coming to Florida soon? Because I really want to meet him in person. Because then I can do my face docs to Vic and be like, "Hi, I'm Ken from the thing," and he'll be like, "Oh, you're Ken?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Ken."
Oh, you're Ken?
Well, Drexel and Nick were confused when they first saw me. Like, "Oh, you're Ken Jennings?" Like, "Yeah, I'm Ken Jennings." Like, so it was pretty funny.
You should have just whipped out your potato microphone and spoke through it, and they
whipped something out, but it wasn't.
That would have made a lot of sense.
Listen, the potato microphone has been sacrificed to the gods. Because I will never plug that thing in again.
Dean Domino 25, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. I'm listening to this podcast as you play video game. That's the best way to do it.
That's something I did on my show. Is a while back. I asked people
this podcast while playing a video game because I can't put down Pokemon Arceus.
Oh, I love it. I love Pokemon Arceus. I'm gonna play it right after this, honestly. Right after.
Nick is doing a tour of the Star Trek studio this weekend. It's near Florida. Oh shit! How far from Florida though? I live like sort of central Florida.
It's
God damn it!
It's Kingsland, Georgia, so it's like 20 minutes north of Jacksonville.
Oh shit! Really? That's only like 3 hours from me.
Do it.
He's doing a tour this weekend.
Yeah.
Shit. That means I have to cancel my show tomorrow.
Or you could do your show live from.
You could do it. You can do it next month. He'll be there next month.
Oh, next month? Okay. He does it monthly, I'm assuming then?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank God, because I really want to go see him. But
so just go to neutralzonestudios.com and then put yourself on the schedule because they do hourly tours.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, it's 3 hours and 2 minutes from my house. I'll figure out where the fuck I let people. Go for it. Let's see who gets it right first.
Well, like Tim said, nobody's gonna watch this anyways. So.
Oh, that's wrong. There was like almost 30 people in here at one point.
Oh my goodness. Well,
we started talking politics and everybody left.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Well, it is indeed a killjoy, so it can't be helped.
That is what happens.
Listen, tomorrow I'm going to be having a fun stream, so if I'll do my quick plug real quick before
go for it.
Sure.
Is last week I did a show with Aiden Paladin where we analyzed the complete destruction of Ethan Ralph by Mr. Medicare on the Boulder Talk Radio. I did a psychoanalysis and a differential diagnosis of Ethan Ralph and the things I think he potentially has, which include multiple things, including alcohol use disorder. Is one of them.
Absolutely.
It was a great show.
That's actually really cool. I love her content.
So yeah, Aiden was on last week, and I have confirmed with Aiden today she will be on tomorrow to finish up watching that stream. So we will be finishing that up tomorrow and probably doing some of the same stuff.
I don't know how y'all could stomach that. Jesus Christ. I tried listening to it at work. I couldn't get past an hour.
Listen, you Mr. Augustine. Jesus Christ, it's Augustine, Ralph. Like, that was great shit. Just listening to that for like 5 minutes was amazing. Like, it was great. So, yeah.
Well, I'm happy for y'all, honestly. Happy for y'all having success. I've unfortunately I've tried to reach out to people and people just don't get back to me. So I don't know how you do it.
I only got Aiden on by sheer chance because Flamenco was doing some live stream shitting on Ralph, and Aiden Paladin and myself were in chat, and we were talking back and forth about the diagnostics on what Ralph might have. And I told her, I was like, if you want to, I'm doing a stream on Sunday. This was like several days before. I'm like, I'm doing a stream on Sunday. Probably gonna, if you want to come on, you're welcome to. or I told her after that incident happened, I was like, I'm going to do a stream on this tomorrow if you want to come on. And she's like, sure, I might come on. And then she showed up in chat and then just joined me for like several hours to watch that and go through the differential, through the DSM and stuff.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. I only get people on by happen chance. Like, everyone I've had on is like, I don't know how the fuck they've come onto my show. You're also welcome on, everyone, too, if you ever want to come on.
Yeah, I've been meaning to, but, you know, our schedules are never able to align. So
I'm a nobody. I can't possibly, but I thank you for the invitation nonetheless.
I started as a Kiwi Farms autist, and look where I'm at now.
Look where you are.
Not only did I start there, I got famous. I lost my job because of a bunch of Karens.
Yeah.
And then I now have a new job, which is great. And I have a second job offer that's rolling in probably this Monday or Tuesday.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been great. Because I already started the one, which I might actually end up leaving to go to the other one.
Oh, damn.
Which I hate to do because I really like the place, but there's some things that have me a little concerned that, and plus the other one pays like 20 grand more.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, yeah.
There you go.
Trent, you can come on next. You're invited. You can come on next time I do a Cards Against Humanity stream.
There you go.
That involved a lot of talking about the Twisted Puppets mom's ashes.
Oh, my God.
That was a great stream. That became a running joke for like half of the fucking Cards Against Humanity game.
Wait, when is that again?
That stream, the Cards Against Humanity stream, I don't know. My stream will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern.
There you
with
go.
The Ethan Rel stuff. So
there you
that's my quick show. I was just kind of on topic, or I made it work. I don't know. But no, it's because we were talking about not being able to leave tomorrow. I had already confirmed a guest. If it wasn't for that, I would probably drive up to Georgia. So.
Oh, that's shitty.
It's all your fault for not telling me earlier, Stan.
That's right. I gave you another out. I gave you an out.
Yeah. The only out that you haven't done yet is come out of the closet.
Oh.
Or maybe
come out of the closet as I'm a fully heterosexual guy.
Oh my goodness.
Exit out. Exit the chat. Exit out.
Look, several of those spicy photos would say otherwise. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because Ken didn't see that photo. You saw one photo, but you didn't see the other photo.
From the other side, I'm like, I need some proof now. I need some links in this private chat real quick. While you send those, I need to go grab my bottle of KY. I'll be right back.
Well, we're gonna be we've breached the 3-hour plateau, so I think we're gonna wrap things up here. But I want to keep it at least, manageable. Not the hour and 20 minutes that our good friends.
I'm sorry, it was roasted on fire by Crumb and Ken and Harima.
So we have to determine.
Liar, I lied about everything.
We have to officially determine Stan.
Still a hero in my eyes.
We have to
define another person
degenerate. Sorry.
So we'll go around the table and we will officially determine Stan's pants on fire status. We'll see how much he is lying. We'll start with Harima. What do you think?
What if he's lying?
Is our Stan's pants on fire because he is lying? Because he is a liar?
I don't. Even if he possibly was, I don't think it could burn given the conditions right now in this ridiculous season. I hate it so much.
I mean, it's like 70 degrees where I'm at. I don't know where the fuck.
Well, I'm happy for you, but it's like near zero where I am.
Drew B, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Harima sucks, according to Drew.
Thank you.
Dear Christ.
So that is an inconclusive from Harima? Is that?
Oh,
is that a no?
I know exactly who sent that too. Oh, thanks, you asshole.
I too think Harima sucks.
Damn it, Ken! You weren't supposed to encourage the boy.
Listen. I have to positively reinforce. I can't talk shit about people when I'm you suck ass. Get your shit together. I can't do that. That's not how I need to therapy. At least that's not how they taught it. So it might be how I do it.
No, I don't believe his pants are on fire. No.
That is a no from Harima. Pants are not on fire. Ken.
There's a critical question to ask to determine this question. Is Stan wearing a pair of pants that may or may not have been given to him by Vic Mignogna, or made by the same people that supply Vic Mignogna his pants? If so, then yes, his pants are definitely flaming and on fire. If not, I will go ahead and say no. His pants are not on fire.
Well, Stan, you can answer that question really easily.
Please say you're fucking lying. That'd be the best fucking thing. Stan's like, yeah, I've been fucking lying the whole time.
In regards to gay pants, Vic's gay pants, I've touched Vic's gay pants. I've seen
clip that.
In his closet in his house.
Whoa, clippable moment.
I've touched gays. Okay, Stan. I can't stop laughing.
I threw it out there. So.
There are no words that could describe what I just heard right now.
Oh my god.
I've touched gays. Stan 2022. You just had your Me Too moment.
Yep.
Oh my god.
It'd be a memeable moment.
Can't breathe.
Oh my god.
Hashtag I can't breathe. Oh my god.
Oh my god. So
I've become the death of Ken.
No, we have to answer two questions. Is Stan lying and has Stan touched gays? We need to answer the questions from.
Oh my god. This is why I love this show. Like, honestly.
Oh my god, I'm glad I came on the show tonight.
You never know what's gonna happen. You never know.
I can't breathe.
Oh my god, from the top
on a
Stan.
t-shirt is the winner.
That's a Freudian dick if I've ever seen one.
Oh my god. So Stan, we've established that you've touched the gays. Continue.
Oh god.
Oh my lord.
I'm glad to make everybody laugh on that moment.
Oh yes. Oh yes. What about your pants? Are they on fire?
No, they're not on fire.
They're not on fire.
Nope. And I don't shop at Rockstar R Us fashion wear that Vic shops at. So
almost for a second was going to ask if that was a legitimate company. But I was going to ask, where the fuck does he get these pants? Because I really want to know. Not because I want to wear them, just because I want to fucking thank them for making such amazing pants.
Yep. It's in Los Angeles, and
that explains
it. Yep.
Yeah, that's all the questions I have for that. No other explanation for where those pants come from.
So I guess the panel has established that Stan's pants are in fact not on fire, so that he is not a liar in this situation. So that
wipe my brow.
Which, if he's not a liar, that does mean she's touched the gays.
Oh my god. Well,
this is great.
This is fantastic. I want to thank everyone here today. Stan, Ken, thank you guys so much. Harima, thank you so much for being a Supreme Canucklehead and joining us when I remember to get you on here.
No, it's my pleasure. I'll be honest. I didn't even know you were having a podcast today.
Everyone says that.
Which means you should get a locals like an adult.
My god.
Even if you don't
I just happen to get on the computer. I happen to go check my email. Oh, look, I got a message. Sweet.
Oh my god. Okay.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you for that. Appreciate
it. I barely keep up with Discord. You expect me to keep up with the fucking locals on top of everything as well?
Look, locals is great. I love locals. It's a great platform. Even though I don't use it as much as I should, it's still great because I have so many people tell me I miss your notifications for when you're streaming. And when I actually send out notifications on locals, when I say I post my stream, I usually post it 15 minutes before. Streaming at 11 or streaming at this, it goes out at 10:45. I get most of my core subscribers who were there when they want to be, or who are available, because sometimes I stream later in the day or whatever. But people love that because then they can either watch it or go back later. Because sometimes they don't leave it open their YouTube feed. Their locals is worth it because it's free. They don't have to pay. Plus, you get a better cut than you do through Patreon or something.
And how much are they paying you right now? Say this.
Nothing.
Just
actually.
wink in the camera.
I can't. Hold on. Let me try and make this avatar wink real quick. Did that work? Did that count? Does that count?
Oh my god!
I think that counts.
I might look into it. We'll see.
Wink from your cartoon avatar to your
I could probably make the. I could probably make the photo wink somehow, which it's supposed to be. The people who see my real face have said, "Oh, that looks nothing like you." I'm like, no shit, it's a generated fucking picture. It's supposed to look similar. It's supposed to anonymize my face a little bit. Obviously, I'm sexier than that, but that's not the point.
And thank you for
that. Was not you just.
That was totally uncalled for.
Oh my god!
Ken's self-esteem has gone down by 10 points.
And thank you, InView or Zombie Gaming for the compliment. I appreciate it. It's always a good podcast here. I like to think so. We get a good community going here. We got good guests and lots of folks supporting it. So I appreciate all of you. But yeah, that's gonna be the show for today. I don't want to run too long because then we're gonna run the risk of no one listening to it at all. Lord knows, y'all can sit through a fucking 8-hour Rackets podcast of him reading off super chats, but
oh god,
3 hours of listening to this content. No, can't do that. Dude. Can't do that. The 3 hours of us tag teaming on Stan Dahlin. No.
Praising.
I'm just
Though I liked it both ways.
Yeah, exactly. But you just got here. You'll keep listening. No problem, Diz. No problem, Diz. I'm just ragging on people. Don't worry about it.
You can rewind and listen.
Exactly. You can listen to the whole thing, and you can even skip. Look, this is the best part. This is the best part about reviewing the podcast afterwards, is you can skip the entire political conversation.
Put those timestamps in there. Put the little chapter markers in there. From this is where the conversation starts. This is where it ends.
Exactly.
We love you, Tim, but for those who don't like politics, here's how it starts and here's where it ends.
Oh my God, we fucking put a bullet in the MGTOWN podcast when we started talking about Canadian politics that one day too. It's just we can't be in the same chat together.
That'd be kind of hard to get your 10,000 subscribers.
Well, I'm never gonna get 10,000 subscribers.
Well, I mean, MGTOWN.
I'm not black, for God's sake.
I have as many as I do, so you'll get there.
I think Ken's subscriber base is like well over mine too.
I don't think it's that much. What's your numbers at right now?
I'm like 1,100.
Oh, I'm at like 15.
Yeah, you're outpacing
only
me.
Because I got fired. I'm just saying, if you want to trade these, I'll trade you your sub numbers. I only lost my job, my clients, in 6 months of my life to.
Man, are you suggesting that Calamity needs to fall upon Crumb before she get
Calamity already fell upon me. I got a concussion and I had to deal with internet retards.
Oh my God!
We prefer the term intellectually disabled.
Hey, the what I said was more accurate than anything else. Let's just say that, because they
couldn't handle it.
What are you guys doing after this?
I'm just planning on playing Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Would you rather do a Cards Against Humanity game?
Oh boy. Where would you do it?
Either in my Discord or on Twitch or on my live stream because I'm bored. Because my wife's asleep because she has to work in the morning. And I've got a headache, but I don't want to go to sleep yet.
You're doing it on Twitch.
I can only do it for a certain time because in a couple hours I got to do my podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna get food and then I'm gonna hop on Twitch. But I can probably, if you're gonna be on Twitch, I'll probably join, hang out while I eat food.
I fucking got a migraine now.
Oh, now okay.
Well, it was kind of going away until Stan's coming out of the closet with the touching of the gaze. And so my head started hurting more.
Oh, I'm
my
so
God.
sorry.
I'm
so sorry. You need some drugs?
I actually have them for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can prescribe yourself. Oh.
Just from what I've learned from Ralph. There.
Wait, hold on.
Man purse.
Epic memes.
From the guntoning here, I hear that painkillers and wine go really well together.
There's a reason I don't drink anymore. Because I take so much fucking morphine.
You still got that back problem.
When I do, I keep my Narcan nearby on purpose.
Oh my God.
So, because they make me keep it in the house because of the VA.
Yeah.
I literally have to have it every year, get a new one. And it's not fun to fucking take.
Jesus.
Not that I've ever had to use it, but I know the side effects of it. Basically, you fucking hate your life for about 4 hours.
Jesus.
Well, it basically binds to all the fucking places the morphine was. So you can be in a lot of fucking pain really fucking quick.
That's true.
If you have, yeah, it sucks. Like, people who've, like, I've had medic buddies of mine who've had that Mr. Narcan in the field and shit. People will, like, wake up from, like, being basically dead, fighting, and screaming in pain and shit, because, like, you just took their heroin away, basically. Like, it's like you just took a needle and sucked it all up, like, immediately. Jesus. It's bad. Yeah, it can suck.
So you basically turn into a retail worker for 4 hours.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I guess that's one way to describe it. It's not what it was like when I worked retail, but okay. Oh my God.
Oh my God. All right, guys. One thing I learned about playing Cards Against Humanity with people from Nick's Discord is that they have absolutely no sense of humor. Absolutely no.
That's not sense of humor. That's something to do with puzzle pieces.
Which are banned in YouTube chats.
So it apparently can't be posted in your YouTube table chat.
Oh my God.
That's a joke, people, before someone calls me ableist or something.
Holy fuck.
Yeah,
well, thank you guys and everyone that joined us today in the chat, as well as people that are definitely not listening to the podcast later.
Listen to the podcast. If you hear this and you're listening to the podcast,
exactly.
Tell me the secret word in an email, and I'll give you a free month on Locals.
There you go.
The secret word is, in all caps, I touch the gays. You send me that in an email. If you've listened to the podcast, I will give you a free month on Locals for the first 5 people who send me that email. I'll fucking give you a free month on Locals. I need your email address to give you the free subscription.
Oh my God. Oh my God. There you go. There you have it.
Well, I'm going on Locals right now.
Holy shit.
Now a follower for the next month.
Holy shit. Well, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, chat, for everybody and everybody. I can't even talk now. Y'all have got me. So y'all got me so turned around now. So thank you guys. We'll probably be back next week. I know next week I'm planning to do a call-in show either on the Sunday or the Monday because I'm off. Let me see here. Not next week, the week after. I lied. So next week I'll probably be back normal, and then the week after I might do one on the 20th or the 21st because I'm off on the Sunday and the Monday. So we'll do a call-in show because it's a holiday. That's what we do on holidays here. And we'll just rap and chat about whatever else. So keep an eye out for that for the regular show. If any news comes up, if we ever get a fucking decision from the appeals court.
Oh God.
You think that'll ever happen?
At this point.
Please, God, let it be over already. John, did we finish? No, sir. We're only on page 446.
Oh God.
I don't know what's going to happen first, the end of the occupation in Ottawa or the fucking Vic appeal coming back.
The occupation in Ottawa.
Dude, if the convoy ends before the appeals, we now know for a fact that thing will outlast every single one of us.
Exactly. It outlasted Betty White.
Too soon.
Now the sun will expand
For the last time, Betty White
engulf the
didn't-
earth long before this appeal comes back.
Betty
Yeah,
White
exactly.
didn't die, okay? She was just banned from 2022. She'll be back next year.
Exactly. She just rage quit 2022. All right, guys.
Yep, I've got my first email for the podcast. You're not listening to the podcast. You got to listen to the podcast.
Oh my God. Well, thank you guys again. This has been Canuckleheads. Appreciate all of you being here. Until next time, keep your